Bro, you guys were done out every day, 10:59. Bye, Jody. Have a good one.
Yeah, they need to collect their thoughts.
But you guys had 3 hours to do that.
That's okay. No, don't use thoughts.
You guys just had 3 hours to do that, man.
man.
We'll give you all the time, man. We're kind.
Nah, because we're doing a bit of a different format now. We got the Katina man. He's going to be on the big board today. They're going to be going through the trade of the day. We got to send it to Neil, and they do their little back and forth. So
hold on. We should do a poll here. What the trade of the day is going to be here with Katina man. You had a couple of ones.
He had a couple. Well, he had the futures.
Yeah,
we know about that.
There it is. My bottom dollar's on
what do you have? Tesla?
The T-triple-Qs. No, he didn't have Tesla today.
He didn't have Tesla. Okay.
He had AMD.
He had AMD.
He had NVDA.
NVDA.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's either going to be NVDA or the triple Qs.
It's easily the T-triple-Qs.
Booyah. He said booyah, so I don't know. Oh, was that to her? Okay.
Oh, we're setting up. So we'll see. We'll find out momentarily. Whenever the boys, I don't know if they're ready just yet.
I think
we're gonna let them get the screen.
Friend Neil might be. Should we send or no?
Two
yes.
NY.
Okay.
You already lost. Your money is on Sean shorting the T-triple-Qs. Bro's been long the whole day.
My guy, the triple Qs are up 1 2/3.
What are you talking about?
What are you? He's pulling your leg, bro.
Yeah, he has to be
actually
pulling
mean
my
that,
leg.
right? All right, guys. For Joey and I, we'll see everybody same bat time, same bat channel. Neil, is that away?
What up? I feel you should be contractually obligated. If you can do the same bat time, same bat channel, then you have to use like the Batman thing. I know, okay, but the thing is obviously weed is not a thing today. It's not. Look, it's not. It's not a thing today. You know, oddly enough, and all of this market strength, Sean and I were actually discussing, we're talking about the SpaceX IPO and then how ridiculously bad Figma was, and we sort of lost track of time because Figma was just woodshedded, as you heard from Adara, so that's not looking good. But let's be real, it's a much different story in the overall market than pieces of you know what. I'm just saying, like Figma, and the reaction should be exuberance. It's not strength everywhere. Like there's a couple things that are worth noting. Like the market is strong today. There's a few disappointing Mag 7 names. Bitcoin lost the volume weighted average price and is trending down. That should be a theme as well. ETH actually is red from the open, so the crypto play has not continued as much as you would think. And when you think about what's going on in the overall market, one of the things that I'm pretty sure you hear it all the time. You'll hear us say it. You hear traders talk about it. They'll say, oh my goodness, I'm getting in at VWAP, or I'm retracing this to VWAP, I'm waiting for VWAP. And everyone's always wondering, what is this deal about VWAP? Because it's so important every single day that you trade, one of the most actively used indicators out there, and it's all about how you use it. Not just that it exists, but how you use it, Sean.
Great, so VWAP, yeah. Basically, the only line you need on your charts, I mean, it's a very key one, it is your volume weighted average price. And what it does is it takes in consideration the price of the stock given the volume that was traded there and then paints a big line. So you do see here off open, you get a little bit of a extension through because you do have the biggest volume there. So creates a little bit of a VWAP push. But here's the open on the T-triple-Q. So this is a futures derived product. It's triple levered against the NASDAQ. And what we're looking for right here is movement, right? So right away, and you can see we don't even get into this trade until 10 o'clock. VWAP is your blue line, if you were wondering. So how do we use this? All right, pretty simple. VWAP is not necessarily just a line to say, hey, every single time we get there, we need to buy it, right? That's not the case. If it was that simple, then hey, we'd all be millionaires. But instead, let's try to learn how we trade with it. So we've identified already that the NASDAQ was starting to raise bids today, right? It was getting alongside of the trade. What we were waiting for was a pullback into VWAP to see if it was supported by that level. Well, look what we have here. This is multiple retests of VWAP until we eventually got it to come right back into us. And sure, we waited 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to let this thing develop and give us the trade. Once it fell back into VWAP, that's where we said, let's go. I'll use volume weighted average price as a support in this example. So the market comes back in, we let it mature up, fade out a little bit. wait for it to develop and show that it's a sign of support, and then you could see we take the trade and it just gets lifted all the way up to where we're still going right now on this trade. But the market doesn't want to go down here, so we support it with volume-weighted average price. It's the blue line, and this is a perfect example where you don't need to jump in right away. It might not be the greatest indicator at open because of the situation with the volume. But once that settles down, let's see, it holds VWAP here, and then again right here, that's my go sign. I don't want to use it too early in the day, but if we can see some support and we get a feel for the market, that gives me a thumbs up to this VWAP trade.
Exactly, and remember, it's not necessarily magic VWAP. You've got to use it like any other indicator in conjunction with other strategies, making sure that it works for you. Institutions are going to be pegged off of that level in terms of performance when buying or selling a stock. So it's not just about support and resistance. Oftentimes, you can get some hints when it loses or pivots away from the volume-weighted average price. Sometimes it's a flip in sentiment. Sometimes it's going to hold and give you that trend all day long. But you also have to be wary of when a stock loses VWAP and the sellers are going to be underneath. And the thing that's so useful about it is it allows you to tell whether a stock is winning or losing off of something other than like the previous close or where it opened from. It's a good place for a time of reference. But again, it's not magic. Like no indicator is ever going to be magic. And it's how you utilize it. A perfect example there with the futures and maybe not taking it right away at the open.
So exactly, Neil. Here's an example of Amazon. Let's go right to an equity. Now, look what Amazon did. So we had known that we wanted this name long, right? There was news based about Amazon, and you could see here right off the open. And again, there's the opening volume print, so you see VWAP getting a little confused. But once it gets going to the upside, it's an explosion. Well, okay, we missed the trade, right? How am I ever going to get long on Amazon? How can I get long on a strong stock? Well, let's find VWAP. So here's VWAP. It's our blue line. And what do? We see the exact same convergence again. Look what happens here right around the volume-weighted average price, right? We have bounce, 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 wick to the low side, that's fine. But this is your go spot right here for Amazon, because once you've given some of these underneath wick lows, that can now be your stop. Wait for it to come back in. Like, don't buy Amazon. You don't need to buy it up here. You don't need that FOMO of this accelerated stock. What you're looking for is a pullback into a level of support. And VWAP, which is volume-weighted average price, lets us know that today, Amazon up 3% at this point, gives us an opportunity to say, hey, it's a long on the day, but where can we find buyers? Remember, buyers are not going to want the stock to go trade underneath volume-weighted average price. The bears want it underneath, the bulls want it over. This is up 3% here today. Wait for Amazon to come in. If you did, it's 245.50. Look, we're trading at 247 right now. This is how you use VWAP. It's a great tool to trade. One line on a chart, why not just go with volume-weighted average price?
Exactly, because just because the stock is up does not mean it is strong. Being above VWAP is another indicator that gives you that opportunity. It's useful because you get to frame any stock as a fight between winners and losers, above or below. It's a great indicator. We love it. Hey, as a matter of fact, maybe we'll be talking a little bit more about it. We'll see in maybe 30 or 40 minutes or so.
We may have a guest.
We might have a guest about it. And speaking of, look, the market's at the highs right now, and we were just sort of saying, just because something is up, percentage-wise, doesn't necessarily mean it's been strong. There's probably lots of celebration of the fact that Bitcoin's at 74.7. It is. IBIT's up 2% from the prior day close. It's in an upward trend the last couple of days, but this is not strong. It's underneath the aforementioned VWAP. It's actually putting in lower highs and is not looking like the market is looking. And so the reason I'm in BMNR was simply, this was like my losing trade of the day was trying to go long on BMNR.
What are we being rude about?
What did I do?
Be nice about Bitcoin.
Rude, okay?
I didn't do nothing.
That might have been a mistake.
Except enjoy the jerk chicken. No, but seriously, like Bitcoin has been relatively weak, but I think the bigger story in crypto, I know we talk about Bitcoin, it's ETH. Ethereum might be up 3.6%, gapping up, but again, this has been trending down from about 10.30 or so. So as long as that holds, like there is some weakness out there in the market. Let's be real. But hey, like there's plenty to be happy about. Micron's up 7%. That's absolutely booming. I mean, basically, unless you're not long, if you're long Figma, where's my thing? Oh, shoot, I'm on the wrong page.
Remember I talked about that earlier? That's so funny.
The gates of hell isn't good enough. Do I have something worse than the gates of hell? Is that worse than the gates of hell?
I don't have anything worse. I have a flush.
Flush is not that.
We used to have to throw up.
I had a puke key, and we don't have that one anymore.
Okay. Yeah, if I could sell anything, I told you already, I like to sell used cars. I think that'd be fun, a fun business to get involved with there. But yeah, VWAP, very important. There. What the?
I'm trying to sell Amway.
Wait a second. When we were talking about Figma before,
that's why we're bringing it up.
I was too busy looking at the chat.
It was $19 when we were talking about it.
So what was the story?
It was, where is it there? It was,
Anthropic, what a surprise.
It's always Anthropic.
I thought also Google could do some of the stuff that Figma is doing now as well. I mean, website creation and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's really too bad for Figma shareholders because they should have been bought out by Adobe. It just was not approved. I believe that was either 20 or 30 $billion. And now let's have a quick look at what Figma's market cap is.
Oh, that's on my choice.
Right now, FIG. Market cap, like I said, I believe, I don't know, why is it showing Oracle right there?
Cheap.
Why do I have this news piece here? Where is the market cap? There it is right here, 10 billion. So I feel like it was at least, wow, who's over there? Oh, Fabian. Monkey D. Luffy is over there. We saw his,
I like that.
what he's wearing over there. You should still watch One Piece with Aaron. It's not a fun adventure thing.
Yeah, every single time I try to suggest One Piece for movie night, I get shot down.
No, it's not even a movie. That's
I know.
40 minutes. It's like, it's an easy watch.
I know, but our show right now, we haven't finished that baking show. So like when we
you're still on the baking show.
She's in. My daughter's into this, which is great. Getting your kids into baking is fantastic because then she wants to make stuff.
That's one of the best things to get them involved with.
Yeah, so it's actually this one wasn't a baking show; it was a cooking show. It's on Netflix. I don't know. It's Junior Chef
baking. Some
Junior
baking
Chef
championships. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Not as a cake.
It's legit though.
I used to watch. You guys watch As a Cake?
Yeah,
we used to. I got tired of it.
It's too much of the same thing.
I mean,
like
it's
you've
the
seen
same
it too
bit
many
over
times.
and over again.
I love the
literally
shows,
the same stuff over.
You need to switch the concept up.
It's like, come on, man. You know it's not cake. You know, like I mean, come on.
I got pretty good at it.
What are we asking as a cake?
And like Aaron, too. Like Rebecca's not the best at it, but like Aaron and I are on fire.
Really?
Like, that's the one.
I can never tell, especially the new seasons. It's like
you get on the fondant.
They show you something. You're so far away from it. You know?
True, but that's sort of the trick is to when they're baking, you watch them as they're making it.
Yeah.
And then you know what their decoy is like.
Yes,
if you've been paying attention, you can usually eliminate 2 or 3.
Oh, no. I mean at the first part where they have to, all of them are lined up and they have 30
those
seconds.
Are hard. Yeah, those are really hard. Back to the market for a second. Micron is a beast. Amazon is a beast. There's so many things that are beast. Is there anything that we're disappointed with?
I'll find something.
Well,
Apple.
Do
you think Apple's,
buried the lead?
Do you think Apple's green or, you're already on it. I was going to say, do you think Apple's green or red? But
I'm actually not worried about this because we've seen Apple struggle to be up on days where the market is blasting, right? Like it's sometimes turning into a safety play, and when money goes back into some of the riskier tech stuff, like Apple doesn't really do as much. So I'm not terribly worried about it yet. Like you're still talking about something not 10%, the low's over here. It's still a good 7-8% off the bottom. Just needs to chew through the 50. Consolidation is absolutely fine. All right, so I'm looking for a couple of opportunities here. Ooh, oh no, I thought this might bounce off of, spoiler alert, VWAP. That's not happening. That is distinctly not happening in SMCI. Ooh, I should be short this. Locates on this. Yeah, this SMCI might turn into a fade play. Things that are underneath the volume weighted average price when the market's this strong are sticking out like an absolute sore thumb. And if it's that obvious on weakness, then if the market gets boring, these things are already giving up. So it might have to add SMCI to the ish list. Up 4%, but not strong whatsoever. Let's go to SIA for happening now.
Thank you. Let's quickly take a recap over the numbers that we had this morning. So at 8:30, we did receive the PPI numbers month over month, standing at 0.5%, and the forecasted at 1.3. So the number did come out a bit lower than the forecasted number. We also had the core PPI month over month that came out at 0.1%. Previous was at 0.3% and forecasted at 0.5. The ADP employment change weekly also came out this morning. Currently, the number stands at 39,000 with previous at 26,000. Now, I want to take a look at a couple headlines for today. Let's talk about AAL. American Airlines shares have jumped today after reports that United Airlines has floated a potential merger discussion with government officials, which would mark the largest U.S. airline consolidation in over a decade. Now, AAL has significantly lagged down 50% over the past 5 years, while its competitors, United and Delta, have gained 68% and 39% respectively. Currently, AAL almost up 8%. Next story I want to take a look at is Lululemon. So Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has launched an investigation into Lululemon over potential use of PFAS, which is a forever chemical, focusing on whether the company's products align with its health-focused branding. The probe will examine testing protocols, supply chain practices, and compliance with safety standards. So Lululemon has stated it does not currently use any PFAS, which has already been phased out in its limited usage in the year 2023, and primarily tied to its water-repellent materials. Management is cooperating with this investigation, but the issue still does raise concerns around the transparency and its potential reputational risks, which is already existing customers, core customer base. So the company has already flagged a weaker annual outlook, which is tied to its softer demand trends. And now, why PFAS concerns are particularly sensitive for Lululemon? Well, let me tell you, given its premium health-conscious brand positioning, meaning any credibility hit would impact its customer trust. Currently, Lulu down almost 2%, sending it back to you.
Yeah, that's. I thought the AAL thing was kind of exciting for UAL and AAL. I mean, I don't think it'll potentially ever get approved or anything like that.
What's the argument? They're always blocking these deals, and then all of a sudden now it's okay for a couple of big ones to go when they hung spirit, but who knows?
Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of opportunities there, and with this new government, well, not new government, but with the current government, we are thinking that more deals are likely. We've seen a couple buyouts recently, so that's been nice. We're also seeing some updates out of Oragenics right now with ticker OGEN, of course, on the NYSE American. The company has now activated its Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia, with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Oragenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, and resolving liabilities, as well as restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. Make sure you do check them out. Well, not our QR code, but go find them at oragenics.com, symbol OGEN on the NYSE American. And we want to thank them for their continued support of the program and some obviously important things happening in the space, right? I mean, we've seen so many, I mean, even now with anybody that has, anybody playing professional sports, minor sports, whatever, I mean, it is a nightmare for anyone that has a concussion, because then you got to go, you're basically out of it until you can pass the protocols.
There was this story of
some girl on his team had a concussion.
I'm trying to remember the baseball player's name. I don't really remember his name, but there was a kid who took like 7 years pro to get to the major leagues, and in his first at bat, first game and first at bat in the pros, he got drilled in the head. And concussion, and it ended his career. And then there was a big petition.
Thank God for insurance or whatever.
Yeah, there was a petition online, like 7 or 8 years after that, to get him another at-bat. And the Miami Marlins had a big thing. They gave him a one-day contract. And he went to bat, and then he had to face like R.A. Dickey when he was a Cy. He struck out on like 3 pitches, but it was a great story. But it can be devastating.
Was R.A. Dickey throwing knuckleballs at the guy? I mean, come on, man, just throw him.
It's like, that was my beef. I remember watching and being like, if that moment happens, I understand you're playing a competitive game, but just give him one meatball. Like, I think you can handle that. Know the moment, RA, strike him out later. But I want to shout out to Burner Email. We have Burner Email who sent a gift over there on TikTok. Or TikTok.
TikToks are really nice. I mean, if you're having breath issues or something like that, you can have. I mean, here, Neil, you need some.
This segment brought to you by Oh, you still have those?
Yeah,
this,
yeah. Go.
This segment
well, I thought
brought
there was
to you
more
by
in there,
Pure
but
Gum. There's like 3 left.
Yeah, it's like you can
No,
have
but
one.
seriously, on TikTok, thank you to Burner Email. Thank you to JKL. We just got a super chat from you. And JKL, you know the rest. Cleared all silver trades. Money is money. Exactly. Adding to USO, waiting on Iran's response to today's meeting. Can you remind?
I don't know. I mean, what was the meeting today? I don't even know anymore.
We could be waiting a while on that. USO still trending to the downside. It's been pretty one-sided the last couple of days. At least yesterday, there was a pop that you could make a play off of, but today it's like it went into VWAP and faded. So yeah, much of the same. You get USO pulling back. Silver looks incredibly strong still. I still like that SL. Yeah, it's pretty good bounce, man. You're at the 50 period. Hey, money's money. I just feel like that's still on trend here when you see SLV. So a couple of things that we're going to point out as the market is still adjacent to highs. Showed Apple a bit disappointing. Microsoft is back through VWAP and testing toward the lows here. So there's some.
I have a potential. I don't.
In the armor.
I don't know if there's anybody doing any lessons on VWAP or anything around here, but right here is one right here for Robinhood. So it's very similar. It's actually similar to Amazon because they retested there as well, and they're retesting here. So you get Robinhood up 8% today. Monster move, obviously. But I'm almost thinking right now that we use VWAP the other way right now. You're starting to get a downside push here in the market pretty aggressively. Oh, by the way, we only have a small piece left, and 52.60 is where I was going to get out of the rest right there. We did real good on this TQ. Just for you guys asking about a piece, like just basically one more unit left, not one more unit, one more piece left. We're going to get out of it. So about 2.5% left on this trade, and then we'll dump out of the TQQs. But, you know, out near the tops as we kept on getting into 53 there, made a top, got out on the way up, fell back, bounced off of the 25 period, took it again at that same top, looked like it was breaking the 50 period, so we got another piece out, ripped back, got out at that same top again of 53.05. Then we took, and then it just, I don't know what was going on here in the market, just basically 10 minutes of straight upticking. So somehow we picked the top there. That was more of a fluke. Came back in, should have redid it there. Didn't, was setting stuff up, went to go get this stupid drink from Starbucks. Then we break down below, right here.
Big ass.
There's a venti iced coffee. It's free. I got 100 points. You get it for free. I don't know. Anyways, I don't think I'll be able to finish it.
Gigantic.
I didn't drink a coffee this morning, so that was the thing. I actually had, and I don't know, I called my doctor the other day, and I was like, hey, and, you know, I haven't been around for a physical in a while, and so it's been 2 years. So he actually looked at me, he didn't look at me, he was on the phone. Yeah. He goes, 2 years, he goes, that's not, he says, I wasn't actually expecting to see you till 50. So that's another 4.5 years from now. But I said, okay. He said, okay, well, go get the blood work done and yada, yada.
Yeah,
so I got it, yeah, so I had a blood draw today. So I had to fast this morning. So I didn't get any of that shakshuka over there that was one of my favorite things.
That was like it's one of the best.
I know, and so I had a little bit of the banana when I came back there, so thanks, Randy, for getting those coffees, but all I was doing was drinking water right there. I don't know. I think once you get over, I always thought like once you get over 40, it's kind of like you should be maybe getting it yearly, but I don't know.
It's a little more regular. It really depends. Look, man, it depends. Like we're talking about health things. I don't mind like saying like glaucoma runs in my family, like on my mom's side. So like, I'll go to my optometrist like way more often than the average person, just sort of knowing.
Another perfect reason.
And I haven't had any issues, but I'm not going to be an idiot about it, right? Like, let's be real. Like, you have to be smart like that and just sort of understand. Like, everything is all about risk to reward at the end of the day. But oh goodness. You know what?
Everything's about risk to reward. That's hilarious. All we talk about all day is.
No, but it's so true. Like, it doesn't cost you much of anything to do your regular checkup, but like the downside, it's like the tail risk is pretty nasty. What's weird about this slight pullback in the market is we're having that thing again where it doesn't matter what's happening. I know I'll show you guys USO, but it's going down and everything else is just sort of following alongside of it. The only thing I'm looking at, I'm close to getting out of BM&R, is that SMCI. But just to give you an idea, because I don't think I'll be reloading this. Not really whoops. That's right, BM&R went to the New York. Muscle memory, everybody. What are you going to do? BMNR used to be on the Amex as of like last week or something. So as it pulls into this bottom at the quarter, that's where I'm looking to get out. I now have a trail back into just underneath the 50 level. So that's one, but that'll be an exit, I think, if it trails out and bounces from here because it's close to target. It's SMCI for a continuation under VWAP. That's not popping. I might play it underneath the morning range low here, like 27 area. So give it to like 27.10 or something like that, and then try and grab it in close to 27 if we can. Because I think we're really falling back here. Lots of things are pulling back, and we're just getting a bit of like a trend break on the overall market. But I'd rather play something that's relatively weak, right? Like you can look at a lot of strength that could be pulling into support, but I know it's up 3.6%, but we just told you under VWAP and been under there for a while is relative weakness. It's already accelerating down this SMCI.
All right.
See if I can get some 90s here. Feel me.
I like some SMCI there. I mean, we liked some Robinhood there as well, but we did not take it on those levels. So we'll have a quick little look here. Market falling back in. We told you where our stop is going to be there in the 60s. So if that fills out for us, then we'll get out. 64 is where I was targeting. And it was just to show you guys where that drop spot was, right into here. And I had set that up when we were up here. So I started to get out, and I was like, you know what, if we do fall back into this area, let's stop out. Generally, the 200 period, they're a good area to look at for any concerned trades on momentum change. Okay, I want to check back on Robinhood because we were just talking about it was 8.5%. Okay, so it does break through VWAP. I think it's a decent short there because you do have, everything's pointing down and we can get out if we do wind up breaking right there, basically 78. So this could be worth something. VWAP is actually at 77.85. So I think if Robinhood comes up, let's just try it. It's just such a strong stock today. I don't know if the short is going to be it. Let's put half a unit on there, and then we'll stop out at like 70. Oops, I almost put 77. 78 11s or so on a break higher. So we're going to put an order right here at 77.80s. I think I just put it 85. We'll see if we get that fill, and then stop out on like a break, sort of above right into here, 78 and change. But Robinhood's going to be. I just think there's a lot of room to the downside if this does fail. You've now broken through VWAP for that first time. I mean, we could see if Amazon if done the same thing. No. So Amazon's nowhere near VWAP right now. So we got $2 to go until then. This is actually not a bad spot either, bouncing. We said we like the 200 period moving average when things get a little carried away from us. That might be a good play right there for Amazon as well. So needless to say, lots to look at. Let us know if there's anything in the chat for you guys. Nebius, we just got a chat.
Yeah, we got a super chat for Nebius, but just before, and we're going to throw that one up here. The SNAL, or whatever it's called, SNAL, another fresh high, just tagged 420% up in the $2 level. I think I counted over 20 halts on this when I looked at my halt scanner, at least somewhere adjacent to 20 halts. So this is wild. Like, it's barely staying open. It looks like it's staying open longer than you would think, but all these are like halts in here. So just be really careful on this as it approaches that top. Super strong name for sure. But we did get a super chat and want to thank you to Anthony there.
And shank you.
Shank you. No, we do not want
to. We want to thank and shank you.
No, we definitely don't want to shank anybody. That would be bad. That would be bad. Thoughts on Nebius? Ball doesn't lie.
No, I mean, Nebius has been awesome.
Ball doesn't lie. And this is just starting a new breakout like 3 days ago on Nebius, and a long one. Like sometimes you think like the longer the consolidation, the better. Like you could draw like a smiley face, I guess what Michael will call it, smiley face, and breakout. Just 3 days ago, really, it made that break. So yeah, it's a bit of a consolidative day, but the last 2 days have been absolute like gong shows. So as long as it holds on to that breakout high, like 135, I guess that would be. It's like grip it and rip it. Like the things that I think are the most fun is the market's trying to get to highs. Like there's two things that are fun when the market's close to the highs. The things that are breaking out as the market gets into the top, and the things that are starting to break because they're playing catch up, right? So like NBIS would be the former, and then I'm not a Fibonacci guy. Maybe you worry some trend lines to see how long you want to hold on to it because the trend is pretty steep at this point. But then there's other names out there that are just now, PayPal, getting off the schneid. Like they're only now like breaking moving averages and trying to break out next level. Now, unfortunately, PayPal is going to fail this top. I'm going to zoom this in. I wanted to mention this today. We didn't actually talk about PayPal today. But it's going to end up failing this prior high from February at 48.6. But that's okay. Like, just because it failed it today, if it can hold on to green and maybe make another run at that tomorrow, the trend is starting to look a little bit better for PayPal. I don't know what the catalyst necessarily will be to take it higher. Don't necessarily remember. I think we checked. Maybe we didn't check when they report. I don't think we did check when they report. I'd have to double check when they report.
PayPal?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe a little later.
Yeah, I'll check a little bit later. It's really not that important. It might need a catalyst to break out that level, and it's not going to do it today. So I have my trailing stop kind of set on the trend line-ish here on BM&R as that goes, and we jumped into SMCI. Not really seeing anything else too crazy, like consolidation trade under 27. Going to give it to kind of like this wick here. When it broke out the morning low, that'll be about 27.10. Well, not till May. I saw a Minnesota trader saying May the 5th. You know what's interesting about Minnesota? We kind of just on a lark was looking at some of the NBA championship
Yeah, that's right.
odds.
Yeah, you like them.
And I'm just saying if you're looking at long, like really? I thought it was 5%. It's lower. So now down to 2% on Kalshi for Minnesota to win it all. This is the problem with NBA. It's like 44% OKC, 18% San Antonio. They're in the same conference, man. Like, it's ridiculous. I think the Minnesota actually is, if you're taking a long shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're talking
I love
about.
Ant.
Having stud players and whatnot, so we definitely like Ant over there, for sure. All right, we have a new position right now. I'm going to take this. I've canceled my Robinhood just because I don't want to take basically the exact same trade. So Robinhood's up 8.5%, okay? So shorting something that's up 8.5% can be difficult and if not profitable. But that doesn't mean that this trade's any better or one's better or worse. But for me, I'm actually going to try to stick with stuff that I've been talking about over the last couple weeks, and that is that in the afternoon, I do find it more difficult. We have the notes on here, and we got a super chat, and thank you so much. You're in the midday. Can't recall who it was, but someone super chatted and said that they had made $1,100 since last Thursday, basically following stuff that was written down on the notes. So I would say thank you for doing that, and thank you for putting on those trades. But more importantly, you're the one doing it, and it's about learning why that's on the sticky note and things like that. So I think I hopefully do a good job of explaining that. But for right here, I'm going to short Apple because we have this high right there. And we can use it off, and it's VWAP. So, like Neil and I just did those lessons over there, and it's like VWAP is not, and we should have, I don't know if he's going to show up today or not, but Brian Shannon does come in on Tuesdays and normally messages me if he's not, so he hasn't yet. So hopefully we'll have Brian soon. But he'll be the first to tell you, it's not a magnet, it's not like this is the be-all, end-all of lines that you look at. What you're actually looking to do is see how we react around the volume-weighted average price. So right into here right now, we've actually developed a pretty good support or in this situation be resistance to VWAP right now. We've been bouncing off of it for 30 minutes. So that's, for me on a 1-minute chart, that's a lifetime. So right now we're seeing that. And, the play right here would have been when to take it. But we don't, ifs and buts, right? We don't have it now. We didn't have it then, so we'll have it now. So we put a bid there at 60, take a little bit of profit. But there it is, man. We rang the sirens. We have a new trade. We put it on, and it's only half unit. So let's see if we can get this to work to the downside right now. But why did we pick on Apple? I think this is the most important part. It was red on the day. It was bouncing off of VWAP. We were looking short, the market's short, right? So we were looking short right there. And we found Apple. So it's just like scanning through, like it's literally what we do. We have alerts on here, Mara, there's Apple, there's JP Morgan. So there's different things that are hitting different levels. And no matter what, and we always talk about how all 6 of us, or however many you see on here, we have us 4 plus Obi plus Adara, we're all doing sometimes different strategies and looking for different opportunities. And one strategy may not work today, that works tomorrow. But for me, I'm always looking at that little VWAP trade right there. So, okay, Adara, over to you. And you got a story for us, or what's going on over there?
I do have a story for you guys. I also think, great point there. You know, I think this group is a really good example of people that trade very different things and have all found a little niche for themselves. So shout out to that, and definitely watch us every single day to see what everybody's trading. Let's talk here about USO. USO bouncing a little bit off of lows. Nothing massive here, but just a bit of an update with that meeting between Lebanon and Israel today. In the U.S. with Marco Rubio, U.S. Secretary of State present as well. NBC reporting, citing an official, that the talks here between Lebanon and Israel, they basically said that they agreed Hezbollah should be fully disarmed and that Iran should no longer be allowed to dictate Lebanon's future. So we're getting a couple updates here from Lebanon and Israel. Nothing massive, but I guess we might be expecting more comments from the debriefing after that meeting, which concluded, I think, around 1 p.m. Back to you.
Okay. They're always going to you always have to make sure we're paying attention to this. We have traders that are going to be trading USO and energy names today. So I did trail out of BMNR. We'll see. It might still be heading to the downside. It is consolidating right around the prior close. We always talk about what are the key levels, right? Like VWAP is one of them, opens, maybe not as important as closes, pre-market highs and lows. Well, yesterday's close price is where it's gotten to. If it bounces, I'm looking right short at yesterday's top, which was the entry idea before. So that is one name, excuse me, that we're paying attention to. The Ovroman, I don't know if that, I don't know how to pronounce that name, is saying, what about ASML?
What about us?
What about this beast?
Well, they're reporting, that's why.
Yeah, they report. So they report, whoops, I just actually realized that it doesn't matter, I'll call it.
Oh, you're checking them out in Amsterdam?
Nah, we're already there. In this particular case, this is one of the times where this coming up as the first thing on the drop-down makes sense, and I don't mind it because the primary market is in Amsterdam for this, but I'll bring it up on the NASDAQ because most people are probably looking at it in US dollars, right? So that matters a little bit more. No, I think this is a name where it's probably more of a bellwether. It's not going to be I don't think anyone's really that jazzed to day trade it, but it just recently broke out going into these earnings. I find with ASML, it's easiest to, this is a buy the dip kind of company. If you have effectively a monopoly on something, then when people start to find it out of favor and the fundamentals are still there, buying the dips is easier than trying to chase the golden goose. But I love the trend break. You are going to have them report. I think when they report, it's like early in the morning for us. Probably like 4 a.m. or some nonsense like that. But we'll come in and we'll get an idea. As a bellwether, it's always important to things like AMAT and LAM, how they are doing. And speaking of which, I see some interesting names on the board there. I can make out Oracle without turning around. What do you have going on there?
I actually don't have Oracle going on. Oracle's not on this board, but there are some other red logos here on the board. Neil, for what I think ASML, the ETA, I believe is 2 a.m. tomorrow is when they're supposed to report. But let's talk about this. We had the financial disclosure of Kevin Warsh officially come out this morning. Now, we know we had been waiting on his disclosure, and that's why they had to delay this meeting that we were supposed to have here, the confirmation hearing with the Senate Banking Committee that was initially expected to happen on April 16th. Because he just filed, it's very unlikely it'll happen then on the 16th. But either way here, you guys know me, I love reading filings. So I read through this entire financial disclosure, and I wanted to point out some public companies that are mentioned. I believe this is a pretty exhaustive list of the public companies that get some kind of shout out here with Kevin Warsh. Now, what makes Kevin Warsh interesting is A, he is by far the wealthiest person to ever be nominated here for this Fed chair position, by far. But part of that is because he's married to a woman named Jane Lauder. And if that last name sounds familiar, yes, she is the Estee Lauder Harris. So let's take a look here at some of these holdings. Way more public companies on Jane Lauder's side than Kevin Warsh's, but Warsh, he's on the board of UPS and Coupang. As such, he does have shares in both. He's actually got massive dividends here for UPS. Then Honeywell and Eli Lilly, I guess he did some speaking engagements for both companies. He got paid a cool $122,000 by Eli Lilly for a speaking engagement. Honeywell over here gave him under $5K, didn't specify due to how small the amount was. Now, of course, Jane Lauder does hold Estee Lauder. Makes sense. She's involved. She's got dividends. She's got shares. She also holds HEIMCO-RACE, the U.S. listed one, not the Milan listed one. Hilton, Compass, API. You've got ODFL, Old Dominion, CLH, ROP, and then she's got some ETFs. She's got the Spider and a Vanguard ETF here, emerging markets, so VWO, quite diversified. She's also an XIU and EFA. So if you were at all curious to what Kevin Warsh and his wife are holding, this is something that interests you guys. You can check this out on X at TTV Research. I love doing a lot of these really niche research projects, so definitely join us over there. And if you ever have any ideas for me, what I should do next for these visuals, tag me in the chat. Back to you.
$122,000 for speaking of Lily. Hey, man, I thought Bill had it good with the speaking engagements. Wait till you see what he gets after he's fed chair.
I was gonna tell you, like, that's what like all these people get. They get paid like.
I usually think it's like 20 or 10,
no, but like
20,
I was gonna
30.
say, even to go to like these different clubs and whatnot, like some of these guys that make appearances there, it's like, I don't know, man.
Until after.
They get a lot there. Rick Ross. Yeah, so Minx in Miami, if you guys haven't heard that song, that's a good one. Adair, you like Rick Ross?
Rick Ross, Big Boss. No, honestly, I love Florida rap, as we know. I think this is kind of a well-known fact. I'm into a lot of the really random Florida guys that nobody talks about. I enjoy Rick Ross. I think he's kind of the granddaddy of Florida rap. I find the fact that he lied about being a PO to be just one of the funniest little pieces of rap lore ever. And then he said, I've never hid who I was, even after hiding who he was. I enjoy him as a rapper. I enjoy him as a figure. I enjoy Rick Ross.
Well, he has a song, Minx in Miami.
It's the character, right?
Check it out. It's a good one, Minx in Miami.
Everyone's just...
featuring French Montana and I think Max B or something. But anyway, it's a pretty good song. All right, just covering right now. Let's go, man. We don't necessarily need diamond hands, but we got them if we need them as we go. As we get bearish. And you know what, man? If we're going to go here, we just put this on 10 minutes ago. So it's 80s short into 40s. It's a 40-cent winner, man. I mean, we'll do that. Rate, okay, now we got to, so I'm out of half already. I'm going to get out another piece right there, just punch out 52s. Yeah, just because we went right into, again, a line that I like, and that is your 200 period moving average. So it falls right into our lap right there. We're able to take it all out, not all of it out, like I said, about half out. Right now, we'll wait to see if we can get it going just a little bit lower. And on that note, actually, I'm going to take out one, there we go. We're going to take out one more piece as we fall back in. And then we'll wait for another piece in the low 40s, and then we'll see if we can get it going. Because, you know, it's like often we have these huge trades. Ooh. Wow, that bounced off of our stop. I was going to say, I have to take a piece out of the TQs. Normally we have these, not normally, but we're, you know, lucky to have sometimes these bigger winning trades, right? Sharif said, like, how come I always have the bottom? I don't. The bottom is right here, Sharif. But there it is. We have that trade. We talked about why we got it on VWAP. But then it's like, you know, you don't know. I don't know what the market's going to do, obviously. I mean, up 1.5%. So, you know, we sit there and we say, okay, well, we'll take 50 cents. We'll take, you know, the pre-market high. We'll take levels that, you know, have a memory to them. And then all of a sudden it just blasts through. So holding something for the win is definitely a strategy that I try to do a little bit more, but then at the end of the day, you don't ever have that much on. So here's another drop in on Apple, and there it is. We take another piece. We take something at 52s, and then another piece here at 40s, and now we're starting to get a little lower now. So let's go. Right now we have about 40% left on this Apple trade, and it's working, man. It's now 50 cents in the money, so we're pretty happy. It's now 2-1 because, okay, slow down, Apple. There we go. We'll punch out some 20s. Okay, we'll take that, Phil, right there. So there it is, another out near that low, and that's what we're doing. It's Apple. We tweeted it out as soon as we took it, man. So hopefully you guys are following, and if not, it's at Trader TV Sean. There it is right there. Boom to the downside. And I guess I can add another mark down here right now. But let's see where Apple goes. We're both short, so hopefully the market will give us, okay. See, this is what I mean. I see this happening, and I'm instantly like, I got to buy this. So we'll bid it out again. Hopefully we'll get some 16s there. And say shout out to our friend Pat LaFontaine. Yeah, that was on.
I just found that we don't have free locates on Figma.
Oh, okay. Well, it can't be expensive.
That's actually hard to borrow. It's not. It's the standard. If you're at Real Trading, you basically know when it's like you're paying for the short, but it's like the minimum amount. This is the minimum amount on Figma. But since that is Anthropic headline, it's been bouncing pretty decently. So a bit of a trend. 1, 2, 3. It's holding a trend line that I just want to take a shot when it breaks. Ideally, this would be the best if it reversed all the way to VWAP. Some people say VWAP, but it's VWAP. If it got all the way up there, but it'll be fine if it just makes a curl in here. Still no BM&R bounce. Bitcoin is still heading lower. Kind of intense. Bitcoin's still going lower. Oh, shoot. I have to hit confirm. always does this. I'm telling you, the amount of times where I think I paid for the locate and I don't do the confirmation step, for sure. Oh, that's right, Ja. The PDT rule has been eliminated. It's great for small accounts, and congratulations. We don't have it here in Canada, so it's not like it's really never been.
Yeah, and they were. Sharifa was reading something off.
Like you still
something and just about the rules.
You still have to hold like a minimum. I think it's like 2,500 or something in your account to be able to get past that 3 trade rule in a single week. But that's a far cry from the 25, like that 25 grand. And I think ultimately, like it's probably most people would say it's overdue, and it came well before. I thought that it would come a little bit closer to when we eventually markets go 23.5, and there's been no real talk of that. So it seems like it's just been put on the wayside. No idea. Eventually, we think that's where the markets are directed, but I thought by the time we got to middle of the year that there would be more discussion, because it's not going to be 24-hour markets. No. Right. It'll be like a little settling for an hour or something like that was the idea. But I thought that would be close to each other. Get rid of the PDT rule because you're going to 24/7 or 23/5 trading. But I can't remember the last time I heard a headline about that. It's a bit disappointing. We thought we'd be seeing that this year.
Here it is right here. As of today, April the 14th, the SEC has officially approved FINRA's proposal to eliminate the PDT rule, pattern day traders. Here's what's changing. The 25,000 minimum is gone right now. The blanket requirement to maintain that 25,000 now has been abolished. 3 trades in 5 days restriction is also eliminated, so you don't have to worry about that. The replacement right now, and this is what Sharif was sort of talking about, I'll just call it up right here. FINRA is replacing the archaic 2021 rule right now with a flat 25K threshold. Brokers will now calculate intraday margin levels, calculate real time, so it's going to be more work here for the brokers based on the volatility of the assets. Now you got to figure out what assets you're trading, how volatile they are, your position sizing, risk exposure. So there's going to be more rules associated here. We'll get to more of this, but it looks like right now the handcuffs are now off of your trading if you were in the United States and looking to do some PDT style rules are now abolished.
It doesn't affect everybody.
So it's not affecting everybody. I mean, it's just that $25,000 mark. So it will be great for smaller accounts. I think we've already sort of established that. So if you do fall under that sort of threshold, again, congratulations. I think it's been a time since 2001, like not too many rules, like 25 years. Day trading and everything has changed so much. In that time.
To Dreamy Classics, they're like, what does it mean for prop firms? The advantage to prop firms, I mean, you can make the argument about PDT. It has far more to do with leverage than it is with getting around PDT. A prop firm gives you
access to
capital amounts in prop that is a much bigger deal, I think, to most traders in the PDT rule. But
it's like to take 1,000 shares of Apple, just say, for example, right there. That's a $250,000 position. So like, my day trading account wouldn't be holding that much just sitting there in cash to say, okay, or a margin, whatever you're doing, to take that kind of a trade. You would need a certain amount in there to do that. But here sitting on a prop floor, we could have millions of dollars behind us, and it's just a matter of, position sizing rather than worrying about losing your own capital. Obviously the PDT rule, therefore, as Neil was mentioning, retail. And traders that are potentially using smaller levels. Okay, good. Well, we're going to go to Sia first, and then we'll get back with Brian Shannon, our guest of the afternoon.
Thank you so much for that. We're going to take a quick look at the board today. Russell looking good. IWM in the green, up by 1%. The only thing I see right on my screen is energy minerals. But we know that energy is taking a hit in the market today, these days. But let's take a look at a couple individual tickers. I want to start off with BE. Bloom Energy, as we've been speaking throughout the show today, has been outperforming and beyond good today after the announcement of a major expansion in its partnership with Oracle's AI infrastructure deal. Currently, BE up 19%. CRDO up almost 19%. IONQ almost 15% up. SM is down almost 5%. Another name I do want to mention and talk about is Prax. PRAX up almost 8% after the announcement today that the FDA has accepted its new drug applications for patients with essential tremor. That's all. Sending it back to you.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I know we're going to bring Brian in, but just to Byron Hart, at prop trading, you're like, oh, you can trade without losing capital. Well, when you prop trade, you don't put you don't put capital up. You're trading the firm's capital. So usually at a prop firm, you get a piece of the profit. Like they capitalize you. You have to adhere to whatever their rules are. They can have risk structures and limits, and you're using their money. You do as they see fit, but you get a percentage. So you're not putting your own money down at a prop firm. So there's no capital to lose like you would in retail. But we do have our guest. We talked a little bit about VWAP today already. Actually, a lot about it today, Brian. So it's a great time to have you on. The markets are up. The weather's getting nice. And heck, I'm sure you're having a good day too. But yeah, how you been and what have you been looking at today?
Good, nothing to complain about. I mean, we're getting stretched on the upside. I saw that Sean's short a little bit of Apple here, and you know, I missed it. I missed the big gap up last week. I wasn't willing to take a bet in front of the news, and we've had a lot of great trades though since then. And it to me is more of a day trade entry technique that. You know, buying bounces from the volume weighted average price in strong stocks like Amazon today and Micron, and you know, just letting the market tell us where to go.
I mean, here, Brian, whoa, as I throw my pens everywhere. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, no, we did. Here's an example, and I tagged you on this earlier about VWAP, and how I like to talk to people about it is, it's not like a magical formula here or anything that we're looking at, right? It's just it's an area of concern. It's something that we do know that there's a lot of institutions over here looking at VWAP and trying to figure out if the said asset is trading above or below, and potentially who's going to win, the bulls or the bears on any given day, yada, yada, yada. We can probably talk about this and more forever. But how I used it right here, I think was a good way. We saw a strong move here in the NASDAQ today, followed by a little bit of a retracement back in. And what I like to do, and maybe I can zoom this in to talk a little bit more about it, is we got a hold here of VWAP. So this is a 1 minute chart. So we had a couple minutes here in a row where we kind of held VWAP before going back up to the upside. So when we had the 50 period and VWAP there, not that this is a golden cross or anything, but I'm using VWAP as sort of a support indicator. So it came back in, it supported it, and then off to the races. I think this is a pretty effective way of using this indicator here on the market, especially after it's given you a little bit of show. Like, that wasn't until about 10:05.
Sean, if you look at my screen, I did not do this when you were just talking. See that circle right there?
Yep.
That's where I bought today as it bounced from the volume weighted average price. That was, to me, the best entry of the day. In the NASDAQ. Later on, I used kind of the same technique for Amazon, and then it right over in here as it bounced from the volume weighted average price after that undercut. So that's why I don't buy the touch of it. You look at it, and here the touch would have worked briefly, but then you most likely would have gotten stopped out. So I bought here with a stop under there, and that was a beautiful trade, as was also Micron. And then I bought that one over here later in the day. And then NBIS is one that didn't work for me. I bought over here and basically scratched the trade as it came back down, didn't take any off. That was my fault for, you know, not taking a little into strength along the way. But perfect entry is the way I look at it, Sean. That's exactly what I did today.
Brian, please say less. I need my team to clip this. I have Brian Shannon saying that I have the perfect entry on something. So I want them to make sure that they clip that and post it up. But all kidding aside, I think that's, you know, we've learned a lot from you. So thank you for coming on and always explaining all that stuff. And kind of the opposite way there, and you just mentioned the Apple trade. It's kind of the same thing again. It's not playing the touch. Really, it's seeing that it held there as resistance, and then we made our way back up. I saw it fail again, and then to me that was go time right there, right? This is just a 25 period on a 1 minute chart, but there's the hold, there's the break down low, and here's the cover. As you know, I'm a very busy trader, so probably too many covers, but again, it lets me go to the downside to the point where now we're still holding on to 25% of this trade back in. But I think that's an important thing to notice too. VWAP works both on the upper and lower sides. You know, you can use it as support and resistance. What do you think about the idea of, especially here in the afternoon, Apple, one of the red names in the day, right? Like right now on Apple, maybe we could talk about if you see anything on a longer time frame here, but it's pretty choppy. We just found out today that we don't report till April 30th. So we got a couple weeks underneath here for Apple. Anything you're looking at with this name? I mean, I'm surprised it's down today, considering what kind of a market breadth we have and extension over 1.5%.
Yeah, it's kind of in no man's land, similar to where Amazon was a week and a half ago. We've got this orange right in here. That's the year-to-date anchor, and the red is off the all-time high. So it's just kind of consolidating in there. What you can't see as well is that blue 50-day moving average. The good thing is, we've got the rising 20 coming up, and just the way this market has been is I would not be surprised to see it break higher. It looks, like I said, very similar to what Amazon looked like. Amazon was stuck under this band of support in here that was holding as resistance. It gapped up and then just started taking off. So if Apple does a similar type of gap up here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Apple start making a run for 280 or so.
I want to ask you one more question, and I think Neil has something about the SPY over here. Why is everybody in the chat saying that Brian is killing Circle these days? Have you been posting about that trade at all, or making some moves on Circle? I know you've been on our show and you nailed a couple levels for us on Circle, but have you been trading that yourself? Is there anything you're looking at for CRCL?
Not in here right now. I'm not, but it nailed the anchor from the IPO, just absolutely perfect, and came down to the year-to-date anchor and the 50-day moving average. It's been, when you look at this 30-minute time frame, though, this type of activity just doesn't interest me. I don't have the patience for all that volatility in there, so I am not involved in Circle at all. Okay, I made a call or two in there, but I'm not trading it.
I mean, a great call or two in there, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's all that really matters. I want to talk to you about. It doesn't have to be
my account.
Well, what's interesting though is ultimately it's about making trades, but it has to start with an idea, right? You can't just do stuff randomly. Let's be honest, Brian. The SPY, longs have been working on these bounces. My question to you is, as we approach the highs, do you see that as maybe a good place to take some profit off? I literally had a guy in the back as I'm walking past. He's like, "What did you sell today?" Because that was his first thought. I was like, "Oh, we're going into the highs. What you bought on the dips, you should be looking to trim." Is there anything that you're looking to take out of basically what is a stone's throw away from reaching back into all-time highs here in the overall markets, and maybe a ring the register type of situation before we get continuation? Because oftentimes you'll say, "Well, we'll get to the top, resistance, and then pull back." And then the second part of that question is, if we dip on the highs, what are you looking to buy?
Okay, some of the strongest names out there, are really getting extended. So let me answer the first part. On the SPY, I think it's highly likely that we break through, and that gets everyone excited for a break to new all-time highs. And I look at this as a level of interest, just like the year-to-date anchor and the 50-day moving average down here. When we rallied up to this level, I was thinking, okay, we're probably going to consolidate a little bit, maybe pull back, and then get moving higher. Not that I want to short there, but that's what I was thinking would be the better scenario. Instead, we had to pivot and listen to what the market gives us, which is, we get these gaps up, pull back, get back above the volume-weighted average price like we saw in the Qs. Those are times to be buyers. But as we get more and more extended, I want to make sure that I'm not holding large positions overnight on those new entries especially. If you're long down here, fantastic. Keep raising your stop up under these higher lows and see what the market gives you. But to me, it's, I'd love to see it break out, run past 7, maybe 02, 03, and then begin maybe a little bit more meaningful pullback, and then see how it digests that and then continue to move forward. But some of the names that have been so strong, just they rallied, like GLW, AAOI, ADTN. I mean, there's a whole list of these names that have just done spectacularly. And I was kind of thinking actually some of the space names would get going today, like ASTS. Fortunately, my rule of don't chase the gap, wait for VWAP, kept me out of ASTS, and I didn't get involved in there. You can see we gapped up on the open there and then just completely failed. So, Lunar is one I've had an eye on, but it's just too crazy. These moves are nuts. So, to answer the question, what ones am I looking for? Probably some of those bigger names that would likely pull back deeper. Netflix maybe is one that is going to pull back in this zone, create a higher low, perhaps pull back down into here. So just some of the names that have proven to stand out in this market rather than look for stuff off the bottom. Although I see that, some, and I know you guys like these names, IONQ, RGTI, they're starting to move a little bit today. Even OCLO is moving. So it seems to be just spreading out right now, in that it's not just the quality names, that the quality names are getting extended and picked over, and some of the garbage is floating up off the bottom. And those are great, great to trade while they're moving.
Yeah, well, they're fun to trade. I think the thing about like the Rigettis of the world is, like, when they bounce, you can get like a few good day trades out of it, and how long it'll last, because these companies literally don't make any money. When the air comes out, it gets nasty. In the chat, there was a question about your thoughts on Intel. I know, this was one where you had mentioned like I forget how far back in the 50-year.
50-year
It was a 50-year anchored VWAP.
50-year anchored VWAP.
Okay, so now that the stock has gone parabolic and is basically back at like 2021 highs, is there anything technically to look at on Intel? It seems like it's done a heck of a lot of work off of the lows and seems ridiculously extended. I know it's down today into a strong market, but what are your thoughts on Intel, which has been insane?
I think the move has been missed here. It just rallied from 640 to 66, so huge rally in here, and that it's going to need some time to work that off. Just kind of similar to this big rally that we saw over here. So when they get extended like this, just raise your stops up if you're long in them. If you're looking to trade them, do so on those 1, 2, 5 minute time frames. But in the next couple weeks, if it was to pull back to this prior peak and see that resistance become support, then rebuild for the next leg higher. But it's really, today it's just a little pause. We may still have some more upside left in this one. It's impossible to pick the tops in any of these names, as anyone, including myself, who has tried to short Carvana, which I'm not Carvana, but Avis, CAR, knows that is just insane and continues to go.
That car was absolutely insane. By the way, Brian, right now you're going to get this. This is not the Dollar Club, but it's a club that we like to do. I haven't been. I got to get to some clubs. Actually, I haven't been to a club in a minute. I guess I'm way too old.
I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, I think I'd be too old.
Is it still a thing?
At clubbing? I think maybe. I don't know. Brian, you go clubbing or?
What's that? No.
Okay, we're having too much fun. No, but Apple's working right now to the downsides. We're taking a little bit of profit here as we want to thank everybody for watching. We got Brian Shannon here from Alpha Trends, one of our good friends. And it's funny you mentioned that 50-year VWAP there, 40-year anchored VWAP on Intel. I wanted to get your opinion on something else that's changed. That's been 25 years to today. Finally, we get the change. Do you maybe know what I'm getting at, Brian?
No, I don't.
The PDT rule today. That's completely abolished as of today. Mm-hmm. So right now, no more of that 25,000, no more 3 to 5 trades a week or anything like that. Now accounts will be able to, the brokerage will have to monitor based on volatility of the asset that they're trading. And if you get margin call, there's a certain limit, and then you're shut out. So it's more based on the margin call itself rather than the 25,000 and the amount of trades you can do per week. Any thoughts on that at all? Has that ever been something that, some of the traders that you work with, has that held traders back, sort of that PDT rule? It's been in place since 2001.
I think it does hold people back. It doesn't give you the flexibility to change your mind and go back and forth. Now, for the brand new trader, right, it's probably a good rule because it keeps them from being overactive and over trading. So I think that at the end of the day, it's we're all adults. Let's make the decisions for ourselves and not have the government tell us what we can and cannot do with our own money.
Yeah, no, I agree. Here in Canada, we've been lucky enough not to have that. So I was wondering, your opinion on that side of the border there. So all right. Let's talk about USO, and then maybe we can you can give us an idea that potentially you have that you've been looking at now. But you pretty much nailed some of the calls here on USO, and Dara had noted to me as well that you had the anchor VWAP from the start of the war. So we go back a couple days into USO, and I'm not sure exactly the day that we would have marked down into here for the start of the sort of war there in Iran. But an anchored VWAP has been holding pretty good. Did you want to discuss what that looks like on USO, or are you using oil or anything there to look at for the energy trade?
Yeah, so I look at the oil futures, which is I just pulled up here on TradingView, and this is what I consider the beginning of the move. So if we look at, for instance, change this to a daily time frame, that's where it really broke out right there on this war. So when we change it back to that intraday so we can see it a little bit more cleanly, the move began there and we pulled back to it. Each time we've pulled back into that anchor, the buyers have showed up and we've seen significant bounces. Here we are once again. We're not showing any support yet because on the 30-minute time frame on the right, it's just still lower highs and lower lows. But this is definitely a level of interest. And it seems to me that, you know, we've come down to this level over and over again, and it just kind of seems like this is the war premium on oil, that as long as we still have all this, you know, back and forth, this level is likely to continue to hold. And if we're to lose it, so if we, you know, if we go the other way and let's say we break down, rally up, and then do this, well, then this whole rally could come right back down into there. And that would obviously continue to be bullish for the economy, bullish for stocks and, you know, pretty much everything else.
Yeah, Brian, is always, like, great thoughts. And there it is.
We can go back to Maximum Trading Gains with Anchored VWAP. We got the author right here. Your second book, when's any third one coming out?
I can't talk about that right yet.
Okay. All right. You may be able
to
promote it. I know a place you can maybe promote it at one point.
Look at the smile. Okay.
Good for you, Brian. Okay. That's really great.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, so where can people find you at Alpha Trends? Are you speaking anywhere? Any sort of engagements you want to remind people of?
No, nothing special. Just I'm there every day on X at Alpha Trends. So that's the best place to see what I'm doing and putting out there.
And a weekly contributor to Trader TV Live as well. So we want to thank you for coming every Tuesday at 2:45. Yeah, so great to have you on again. And everyone, go pick this up. It's Maximum Trading Gains with Anchored VWAP, and it's Brian Shannon. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with all the trades. And hopefully we'll be able to see you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Ciao.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, there you go.
Some stories to talk about here. I'm going to start with USAR. USA rare earth spiking higher. Now, this headline is something we already kind of were aware of. The company's expressed it itself, but seeing reports that USA rare earth is actively pursuing acquisition opportunities around the world. So we already knew they were kind of trying to get involved in other businesses. They were trying to do some investment in France. Either way, it looks like now this could be a little bit wider of scale for USAR. One more headline that I want to mention to you guys, another headline. Be aware here, COIN pushing higher the information reporting that Coinbase is in talks with Anthropic to get access to that Mythos platform. We know that Mythos has generally been banned, but this will be an interesting look here for COIN. It is pushing higher. We're also getting comments from the State Department. I guess they posted about the U.S.-Israel trilateral meeting. They agreed to commence negotiations at a mutual agreed upon time and place. So basically, we learned nothing from that meeting. That is the long story short. We're going to go over to CI, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adara. Let's take a look at the market right now. SPY in the green today, up almost 1%. Tech services in the green majorly, followed by energy in the red. CVX, Chevron has said it will trade some of its Venezuelan oil and gas holdings with the country's state-owned oil company, Petróleos de Venezuela, as the U.S. oil giant is looking to focus on producing extra heavy oil. Currently, CVX down 2.87%. Mixed sentiment in the electric technology sector. MU is still performing well, up 6%. As you all noticed earlier in the show today, we did also get earnings from WFC, JPM, and C with GS as well. So finance is a bit mixed at the moment. Earnings from Morgan Stanley and Bank of America expected tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. Consumer durables, majorly in the green with Tesla, currently up 3.65%. In transportation, Uber currently trading flat after the announcement that Lucid will reportedly be purchasing 35,000 cars specifically designed for future robotaxi deployment. Sending it back to you.
Thank you very much, Circia. You might have seen NVIDIA breaking through $195. It's not just a round number. It's not just a round number. This has been resistance since, I don't know, going all the way back to end of last year. Yeah, this was the end of last year that 195 was resistance. He had a single break. It was an abject fail, but now it's through. Obviously, how it performs at the close, at the end of the day, there's still like 90 minutes, or whatever, not 90 minutes. It's still an hour or less than an hour to go. It's power hour right now. I didn't see the graphic, but it is. So I think holding above 195 is huge. There were sellers there just like we saw before. And I am personally, well, I'll be a lot, not that I care, but why can't it be doing what AMD is doing? Oh, AMD. Oops, I guess AMD was better than, well, remains to be seen. I still think NVIDIA, in the long run, will end up being the better buy, but it hasn't been right. It hasn't been right currently because AMD is up from the lows like a good 25% from the bottom is AMD. No, but that NVIDIA 195 is key. I think when you get that 200 level, we could see another test of some sellers before there. Maybe we still look for some dips into 195 for sure. Absolute rocket. I didn't see a specific. Someone's saying there's a news story with NVIDIA this afternoon.
Is there?
I didn't see one.
There was one sort of with Microsoft. I did drop it in the chat. It happened when Brian was talking. Basically, we already knew that Microsoft was apparently going to be getting involved in some Norway data center action. Apparently, they're going to be renting, like, I think 30,000 NVIDIA chips as part of this Norway data center situation. Again, this is just a report from Bloomberg, initially reported in the afternoon, like the midday around 1. The second half, the NVIDIA half, was just reported. It's going to be in some Arctic Circle area of Norway, not Oslo. It's going to be like a smaller area.
Okay, because I thought I had heard it before, but okay. I guess it's an update of the story.
Interesting story there. I just wanted to highlight here here's today's note, right? We put this out at 8 a.m. or something like that. Here's our talk that we were talking about today, right? Market stabilizing after recent volatility. Obviously, the VIX was down to like 17 maybe this morning. Focus just to momentum names and risk appetite. So that's exactly what we talked about here today. There's IBIT. Actually, IBIT's momentum's been lower as of recently. Tesla, we saw that was a huge, like, notice this word that's right here beside everything. Long, long, long. NASDAQ up 1.6%. Long, long. When we came in this morning, NASDAQ was up 0.3. Long. So it's just like, there's NVIDIA long, there's Amazon long. Like, so we went to find strong names that have the get up to it, and we found them. And that's what it was right there, right? We talked about upside continuation and upside leaders are likely. Like, it's not, honestly, I can't really put it more, and we took advantage of that, right? Not only I'm still long right now, $1.30 in the money on these TQQs as we go right back up to the highs there. Thought it was pretty smart getting out there when it dropped down, but then there it goes to the upside. Neil just said he was asked if he got anything out in this move up. I'm not getting anything out at all. I'm doing the Brendan Wickens style of investing, man. I'm holding on forever right now because every time I get out, something wrong with getting out. Even although yesterday getting some out on Marvell. Well, I'm down $1 now, but I got at 133. I was about to say that it was working out in my favor because it did get down. Wow, even that Marvell buy down there would have been fine until that happened.
I think it depends on
depends on the asset.
There's swing accounts, there's swing trading, and then there's like your long term. Like the only time I'm ever selling anything in my long term is if there's something that I own that is a bigger percentage of the portfolio than just that I feel comfortable with, just more than I wanted it to be. And that's typically the case. So I trimmed some GE Vernova. Yeah. So that's fine. Like it's
just about, like, for example, Marvell, right? Like when you're buying it at 60 or 70 and it goes to 130 in a couple months, that's an outsized
it's also
move.
Big, outsized move.
You know, and then you can say, okay, based on the valuation, based on the chart, whatever, maybe I want to put that $1,000, let's just say, into Uber or into something else. Okay, something just happened to Apple right now, so we are.
The market just.
The market just ripped right there. So I'm only holding on to something small right now. I still have the news in my ear, but I didn't hear anything. That was a decent move, and it might just have been the market taking out the highs. Okay, so I don't think it was anything at all there, actually. I mean, it could have been, obviously. But it looks like it was just the market running into highs there. I don't know what just created that. Like, Apple just bumped up there 40 cents or whatever. It was just stone cold chilling down there. But right now, Apple, I'll take a piece out.
Just hit 96, maybe?
Yeah, so that's, is Tesla at like $500 yet? Like, honestly, no tongue in cheek there. But yeah, Tesla up 4% as well, as that's trying to go higher and higher right now as well. So yeah, man, what a day. What a day. Today I didn't make the mistake. I checked the account and was happy to see, excuse me, what was in the account today. Let's go check out the banks. You know, we didn't look too much at the banks today. And Adara, at the Lloyd banks.
Is there a disappointing button?
Disappointing? There's this. Fail?
No, it's not, but it's not.
Are they too big to fail?
No, fail's not the word I was going to look for the banks. Disappointing, they're not a fail. JP Morgan is dead flat. Like this looks very healthy if that's like your resting heart rate or something. It's like, doing some exercise, and then we just sort of sat down in a chair for the rest of the day. And then you look at Wells, like Wells Fargo missed. That's, hey, it's holding VWAP. That's, I suppose, a good sign, but down 5%, so a little bit disappointing. Citigroup made some fresh highs. This is the one that's actually, remember this morning, there was only one of these that was breaking out, and it's Citigroup, and that's still the case. So they're all exactly what they were this morning. Citigroup was a strong one, Wells Fargo was a bad one, and JP Morgan is doing nothing and flat, unfortunately. I wanted to get this poll up very quickly because I wanted to see everyone's thoughts, just our viewers' thoughts on this PDT. So thoughts on the PDT rule gone. If you're in the chat right now, all you got to do is type 1 if you think it's huge and you're happy with it. 2 is meh, you don't think it's a big deal. 3, you don't even know what the heck it is. You don't know what we're talking about. So 3 would be you don't know what
I'm going 3. I'm going 3.
You know what PDT is.
Oh, yeah, I know what it is.
So my gut tells me this will be a landslide for 1, and that there should be almost nobody that doesn't know what PDT is.
Well, I mean, if you're new to it, or Shreve did say that. So first of all, this
17% already. There's a lot of
Is it actually taking effect today? I don't know. I just know that today was when it got fast tracked. I believe that each broker is taking their time to implement it.
Yeah, it might not. The rule is changing, but whether or not it's actually physically, I saw the same thing when I typed into the search.
Yeah,
that it might not actually take effect individually at every broker, but again, here it is.
It says as of the SEC has officially approved the proposal. So if they've approved it,
difference between approved and implementation.
Well, that would be I think that would just be on the broker side.
Right.
So as long as they can implement it, and Shreve did indicate that some brokers were maybe already potentially doing it, and you should get some sort of a warning. I don't know what system he uses. I use Gemini. What do you use when you ask a question?
Okay, can I be?
Yeah, well, you're supposed to be real and honest.
Okay, so I was using Claude, and then I hit that limit where it's like now you have to get an account.
Okay.
And so I was using Perplexity before that, and then since the Claude thing, like the Ask Gemini button's just right here.
I noticed that.
So I've just been using that lately, but I tend to bounce around. Like my loyalty.
So it sounds like Claude is your first.
Claude was awesome, and then Claude, and I don't know if I'll end up paying for it. I probably will. I don't know, I've tried to convince my wife that she should be using it.
Depends what you use it for. Like
in her workflow. Yeah. I don't think I'm using it enough to justify paying for it. I think when I convince my wife that it'll help her in her work, then we'll have it, is my guess. But anyways, it doesn't really make a difference. Even Citigroup, the market just pressed into the highs, and it's kind of weird.
Bank stocks.
Like Citi just breaking a bit of a trend here, unfortunately. Let's go to Sia at the desk. We got 30 minutes till the imbalances. The market's cruising. What's happening to Citi?
Yeah, I'll talk quickly here first. Keep an eye on the crypto space. This isn't really like a market moving catalyst, but I think it's one that's worth noting. Semaphore reporting that apparently the CEO or the co-CEO of Kraken has confirmed that Kraken has filed confidentially for an IPO. So crypto exchange Kraken is going to be going public. IPO season hasn't even started yet, but it already looks so good.
Thank you so much for that, Adira. So let's quickly dive into money talks. The U.S. dollar is under pressure. Traders are betting on the easing Middle East tensions, which could reduce demand for safe haven assets. Therefore, leaving the dollar headed for a 7th straight day of decline. The Canadian dollar has also risen to a near 3-week high against the U.S. dollar due to the peace talk optimism that has reduced risk aversion and also weakened the USD. But let's also take a look at the broader Forex markets here. Just a second. Yeah, the broader Forex market is also reacting to a risk-on shift with the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar advancing while the Japanese yen and the other major pairs are being pulled around by a changing sentiment and other policy expectations. That's all.
Thanks. Yeah. So Joe's all mic'd up here. He wanted to potentially weigh in and on the
it's spicy, right?
the PDT rules. So what do you think?
and
We still have Adira's mic on, I believe, live, Andre.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Right now, you're hearing about the spicy jerk chicken. So what PDT? What do you think, Joe?
Some of the brokers disadvantaged to not remove that rule, right? Because you're kind of capping your total addressable market. Think about how many new traders or retail traders want to get involved with day trading but don't have the ability to do so just due to the fact that they're under $25,000 threshold.
No, I mean, I don't think any brokers are going to hesitate.
It would be because then you got to think like, okay, yeah, this broker's under PDT, but then you have another one who's like, okay, yeah, we don't have that.
So you're not going to use the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So you just transfer your money out of it and then go to that next broker that gave.
Let me get. You're suggesting everybody moves over to Robinhood? Is that? No, but I think that's
well, I'm now with you on that one because I'm a shareholder too.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I think that's right, though. I think, if you don't sort of get with the times, but I don't see why. Joe, were you hearing that some brokers are opting out of that? Like,
no, I didn't hear that. I heard you guys talking about it, but I don't understand why you would opt out of that, to be honest with you.
I don't think you can opt out of it.
No, I don't think it's about opting out. It's just a matter of whether it's immediately being implemented and how quick that's taking into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd want to do it as quick as possible.
I would hope
so. You would, okay, as soon as you get the green light to go, why would you not remove that rule to see if you get some more inflows within the retail space?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it could be, I think like you're going to start to see soon advertisements, right? Like, hey guys, like come sign up with us.
That being said, I've seen it multiple times here in the chat, and I want to find somewhere I can confirm this. Multiple people are saying 45 days to implement.
Yeah.
That is, so it's not
45 days what, sorry?
To implement.
Oh yeah, I mean, so what?
Yeah, so
start advertising now. Just
exactly, like it's not retailers or sorry, it's not brokers not wanting to do it right away. It's just that there's a bit of a rollout implementation that's taking place.
I mean, imagine how much Robinhood, not SoFi, but Robinhood, IBKR, some of these names can make if he's going to have fee-free trading, and now all of a sudden you go from making 5 trades a week to making potentially 50 trades a week, right? So I think that does start it up, and I think it helps for crypto. I think it helps for everything, right? The more active hands in there, I think the better it is, and helps us traders too, right? I mean, we're looking for liquidity and halts and things like that, and I think the more retail that's involved, the better it is.
It's going to cause way more price action, but I saw there's a lot of interesting stuff in the.
Need more traffic, but no. Aside from that, no, that's all I really had to say, and I'm looking forward to rating that lunch.
Okay, yeah, we'll rate the lunch at 350.
Yeah,
Let's rate it at 350.
It's already pretty legit.
Yeah, we've been saying now,
or 340 or something. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I think the lunch is going to get a high rating today. Thanks, Joe, for that. Anybody that's talking about PDT, we're sort of a different beast because this is our world. Like the PDT rule, like I don't know if Robinhood's going to be advertising like on ESPN or anything here, as people be watching and saying, but I could see, sending out those emails and everything, getting that blast marketing. And I think it's a good idea to potentially, I don't know what Robinhood's doing right now because the market just blasted through highs right there. Remember, we were like, let's get away from shorting Robinhood. So I'm glad we decided to do that. And instead, look what a difference that trade is, right? We switched up our idea and said, let's go over here and short Apple. It's not, sure, it worked out today. Look, we'll make different calls in this all the time, but it's just like, it goes back to what we talked about. We do the lessons about VWAP. We do the lessons about being very specific. I've only traded 4 names today. Waiting for setups, waiting for things to happen. So like when you see this, you take that, right? And I was talking about how looking and seeing in the afternoon, like if Robinhood's going to be up 9%, there is a good chance this can go up to 10%. Like it could keep going. Shorting something underneath VWAP, although it looked good at the time, you got to be careful understanding where the momentum is in names. And I think that just goes back to the sticky note and what we've been talking about all day long. Make sure you do join us. We don't say this enough because sometimes you traders are just joining us for the afternoon. We're live at 8 a.m. every single day where we go over Adara procures, Sharif as well, Brendan, everybody works on their watch list. We have one that goes out for free to every viewer. You can find that link in description. Go grab that watch list. Sharif's morning note is available to all the members. They're $5 a month there that you can contribute to. You get access to that morning note, which is like 13 to 15 pages of just gold information on the different stories that there are in the market that day and potential catalysts and whatnot going through. Man, I have a crazy headache again. I don't know.
It's a shelf. I think that's what it is. Mike the Rider is like, I love your enthusiasm, Mike. I thought it was 7:25 a.m. So there is a benefit. Some of the regulars, you might notice that obviously before we go on air at 8 o'clock, that's when you can see us and we start yapping away. The chat does open up usually before 8. Sometimes it's I don't know. Sometimes it's like 740, sometimes 720. Sometimes
Wait a minute,
it's
Mike
like
Peter Ryder's in the
710.
chat early. What a surprise that is.
And first of all, Mike,
I've seen Mike talk to himself.
This is exactly what happens. And anyone that's Mike, we've seen you do it so many times. There'll be 3 different mics all chatting in a legitimately, sometimes relatively coherent conversation with yourself.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Which is amazing to do before you've had a coffee in the morning. I don't know how you pull it off.
I'm just looking. I was like, Mike Peter Ryder talks to Mike Ryder. Wait, it's the same guy. He's,
like, what?
He's asking himself questions over here.
And he talks trash too.
He'll talk trash on TikTok about something, and then he goes and says the opposite on YouTube. It's like this is amazing, man. This guy's
I'm always watching, by the way, because I'll be sitting here watching this.
We
guy
tell
just
everybody
laugh.
to join us on all platforms. This man took it seriously.
Well, he's not playing around.
He's joining us and all platforms. We want to make sure you guys all do that, whether or not you're on TikTok, Twitch, anywhere. I think that'd be awesome. And Mike, man, we absolutely love you. So we'll just go awesome for that one. Thanks, Mike. And yeah, we want everybody to participate in the chat. So make sure you do hit the like, hit the subscribe, get into that chat, and you hit $ something, and we'll be able to talk about that. We can throw up the visualizer. Andre's got it over there, and just show you what we're talking about. So far here today, I have to zoom in to see how many. I can't even see how many likes these things have. Oh, there it is. 182. So SNAL there, the top stock to go with today. Intel there, Palantir, Oracle, there it is.
Snail.
You click on it. Yeah, Snail there. What is the name of the company?
It is just Snail.
Okay.
By the way, it's halted up.
It's not moving. It's moving up like much.
I think it's number 25 or 26.
It just halted on our halt scanner.
Yeah, it's halted at least 24 times today. You can count them up if you get really bored. But a halt to the upside, it's 324, so it's not at that point where you have to worry about it not reopening yet. That'll be like if it halts in the last 15 minutes or so, then you gotta worry about 4 o'clock. But it's breaking through the $2 level. Snail, is there even like an Anchors or an AI? No, it's just Snail. It's not even Snail AI. Holy bid! Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'd flip over, but I was just typing another symbol. It's going into a halt. Look at the bid.
Oh my God.
Going into the halt. That's ridiculous. 69. That's insane. Insane amount of size that just went into another halt. So 450% to the upside. That continues to run. Wow, Snail. I don't know what they do. Usually by now, it would have been a story we would have checked. But just to recap, FIG, it doesn't hold at my level when it broke the trend here, and then it broke through this top. It's now starting to come back in. But Snail, this one is wild. What is the daily chart? All right. No one ever went broke taking profit. Just every now and then, you want to look at one of these that doesn't look like this, unfortunately. I'd love to tell you, I don't know what they do, but I do know that if you try to hit, anyone that's been trying to hit home runs more than a few days on this is usually going to burn. It does have one move back here in November where it actually sustained a move. And the other thing I should always check out, if we're actually being real about this, I should look to see how many times this is split.
Here, I'll get this off. We can do this.
Oh, really?
No, this is from Mike DeRider.
This is never split. This is never split.
What?
Okay. So
we get a dare on this?
Yeah, these are all legitimate moves into the $3 level. It hasn't split. It's been bouncing from penny stock to $2.50, $3 several times. So yeah, maybe it's got a little bit more room, getting that 2.5, that 3 up here. These are all legitimate levels. I'm used to looking at those prices, and then I have to go check on eSignal to see if they're real prices or split prices. But this has not split, apparently. I'm surprised.
It was SNAL there. I just didn't want to interrupt Neil there. But here's Mike DeRider. And I mean, thank you so much. I mean, I didn't, 2 years here ago. Thanks, Big Dog. I know it sounds cheesy, but 2 years ago, when you were still working, he clicked on the TTV thumbnail. Thanks, Ramin. And it was about changed his life. So, we want to say shout out to everybody there. And we're glad, that you're able to join us every day and hopefully get some education. And we do want to thank everybody for their continued support as we just continue to do everything that we can to provide, the best content and hopefully educational as well. And we're doing some of those videos now. You can check us out on the shorts and all over the place, TikTok, Instagram, and everything, as we look to get bigger and better for you here every single day. And speaking of getting better, I think we got to throw over to Sia.
Sorry, I'm going to once again jump in here with SNAL. So you were wondering what's happening with SNAL. There's no news, though, from today. There was news last week. And when I say last week, I mean last Monday. It looks like April 6th. They basically updated their software license agreement. That's the last news on this. That was through their subsidiary. Now, the market cap and float on this are also not anything super unique. This isn't like a sub-million share float name by any means. As of this rally, looks like $62 million market cap, so decent market cap. Float, though, pretty average. I mean, not super small, not super massive. 8.5 million share float for SNAL.
Away from those. What did Brian say about car? We can't remember. I don't think it's in his wheel.
It usually wouldn't be. Let's throw the super chat up. If anyone remembers, because car's up, car just made another high, almost at $400 now. Greg Trail, Sean Neil, thanks for the awesome show as always. When y'all say, I love the draw. When y'all say 200 MA, what candle time frame are you using for that? I run 15-minute for direction. I think it's probably, if it's for me, it's on the daily, or daily or weekly chart. It's always not an intraday. I don't use the 200 intraday. It'll always be on a daily chart or maybe on like a weekly chart. SNAL probably doesn't even have a 200 period moving average. Not sure it's been around long enough. But for me, it'll always be on one of those two.
Oh man, this TQQ, yeah. I mean, I use it on all time frames. So this is a 1 minute here. This is a 5 minute down here. It'll be the green line on all of my charts. So the green line on all my charts is your 200 period moving average. Just trying to keep it consistent. Okay, so yeah, there's VWAP trade and there's TQQs right now. Extension, man, another 1.73%. Taco Tuesday, yeah. Trump always creates opportunity. I like that one better than the chickens out one because, I mean, honestly, we are now moments away. And you talked about last week when you and Joe had that discussion about, you know, when do we break through all-time highs? I mean, it's momentarily right now. So this is happening. And honestly, I don't really think too much is really, I mean, I guess it's getting resolved. We still have Ukraine, that is something going on there as well. So there still is a little bit more to do as far as, you know, world peace. I don't think we're ever going to get to that. But anyways, we can talk about that later. We're now $5 away from an all-time high, and we've covered up everything that's happened with Iran and everything that's happened with every sort of controversy that we've seen, including oil doubling in price, and the market still shrugs that off and goes right back up to these highs. So I don't know what's going to stop the market. Something's stopping Apple, though. It's not making those moves higher or lower right now, so I'm going to put another bid out there. Take a 34, getting a little lighter now on AAPL as just we saw that bump up there and scared me a little bit. Let's take a piece out near those lows on that most recent bump, and we'll see if we can hold something for the low. We have only 5% left, so womp womp on that one. Oh boy, did we have AMD today. Jeez, man, oh man. Hey man, positive on every single stock today. Apple, AMD, Marvell, TQs, 4 names, 4 for 4, but we have outs here as well. This was our first out on AMD, took an L on our first trade as we lost. We were trying to buy this dip into yesterday's closing prices right there. Did not work. See, I can hit fails just as much as we hit bangs. It's just been a lot of bangs. And then as soon as we retook that level of 47, we went long again, and then that was $3 win. Like, if we're going to lose 50 cents but win $3, we'll take it. I don't even think it's a win. Just make $3 there. It dripped back down. We did reload it, not full again, but we reloaded it and then got stopped out there. Basically at the low. The low of the day is right there. I pretty much made 2 lows of the day. And then since that movement, you can see the extension. That was 246. And whatever, man. I mean, we're having a good day regardless. But that's 246.50. You're at 255. That was $9 ago on advanced micro devices. So, you know, to go back to the notes that we made in the morning, yeah, man, it was a risk-on day. And a lot of big winners were available. I mean, even Marvell. Like, we only tried this once. We should have, and it's funny because you guys in the chat, I mean, shout out to everybody in the chat again, was like, oh, maybe it's time to reload Marvell there. And I was like, it's not really moving the way I'd hoped it would. Needless to say, that was a 132. It's at 134.50. And then the other trade I still have on, well, I have Apple short. So the only position I put on all day was on the short side was that Apple trade, and we're lighter on that one. And then here we go, man. I'm just going to hold this to see what happens into the close. And just a good day considering banks came and went, and I'm going to throw it to Neil in a minute. Let me just go quickly, just look at the broader market, and then we'll give it back. You know, lots of green. I mean, you can't really be there's one of my picks, Eli Lilly, like, I don't know, down 0.6. Was hoping that would be up on a day like today, probably individual news. There was some news with Novo Nordisk.
Novo's had.
Yeah, so, okay. That just goes back and forth. I think you're going to be disappointed as an Intel investor with today.
That was exactly what I was going to bring.
Oh, okay, then leave it. I'll get there in a second. Yeah. I'll let you do that. That just stood out. I didn't even know you were doing that. Okay, and then after that, let me just look at where's the industrials, because we haven't looked at Caterpillar. We have ASML. They've changed the way these all were.
What
Communications, like where's Caterpillar and all them? Industrial services, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow.
Why they gotta be so
No, that's not it. Okay, that's waste man. Amazon, oh here, producer manufacturing. Yeah. All right, so Caterpillar right there. So we have ASML tomorrow. So interesting to see how that winds up.
Why is Deere down 1% today?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's a lot of different things happening in today's market. But yeah, let's go over and look at the Intel chart with you.
Well, no, so I think one of the things that you have to keep in mind is like just because there is a bounce somewhere or you catch a bounce somewhere, the truth be told, it wasn't a long. Like Intel wasn't a long today. Just because there were probably a couple of places you could get away with a long. The stock, it's looking for a turn, and whoops, I wanted to have this up, but I still have that. See, I have that silly snail stock. But Intel's back into some pretty big levels. And obviously, like there's some history and memory to stocks. Well, this is effectively on this monthly, the 3-month chart, this is like a triple top in here. And it's a lot of topping tail candles as you get into the 70 level. So I think this could be a interesting reset level, not reset, but maybe like pullback level for Intel. It's been a heck of a rally lately. Like you look at the last real, we had like a 3 or 4 day dip back when it was at $48. And it's been all up since then. Even like gap down, just go straight up. Like intraday, like this day where it pulls back, it holds the prior high and it still closes in the green. Like every day it's just up, up, up. And then today we're actually gonna get a legitimate down day. Maybe a bit of a head and shoulders action gets put in if it loses 63, like 63.5 or so. So my thought is, yeah, today you're able to find your way into a long, but just because you got a long win or here or there, you caught a couple of bounces, does not ignore the fact that I think Intel, my default tomorrow is going to be to look short. Doesn't mean I'll find a short, but I'm going to be looking short on Intel off those highs. We're going to go to SIA for crypto, another place where it's not as strong as you think.
Let's talk crypto. So Bitcoin has been moving higher as a broader risk sentiment has improved after following signals that the US and Iran could resume peace talks, even as the naval blockade remains in place. BTC currently trading in the 74,300 region, down 1.7%. Also want to take a look at ETH. How are you performing, ETH? ETH currently down 2.3% at the moment. But I also want to take a look at Aptos. So market's attention is also on the fresh industry developments, including Aptos' network's tokenomics. That is update that his company has rolled out a major tokenomics overhaul, which is aimed at tightening supply and boosting a long-term value. So the update cuts stakes rewards to 2.6% and raises gas fees 10 times with fees that are designed to drive token burns. Now, the total supply for this is capped at 2.1 billion APT, while 210 million tokens are permanently locked by the foundation. And that's for your crypto update today.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Did not give you guys the early imbalances. Usually do so at about 3:30. The thing that's standing out is IONQ. You've got ChemView always there. A few million shares to the buy side, Verizon, a couple million sell. You've got IONQ, which you've seen these names say, they're all rocket ships. 1.17 million to the buy side for IONQ. That easily stands out. The difference today for IONQ on a normal day, that would be a huge imbalance. Today, IONQ's done over 50 million shares in volume, but it's still a buy imbalance when the stock is at the high. So that does put a potential like flip trade out there. And when I say a flip trade, it's like, okay, we'll come out as a buy imbalance, and then now all of a sudden at 350, we see it as a buy, it presses into the high, and then at 355 or sometime before it, that pairs off or flips, and you use that to short off the high of the day because the buy and balance flips to a sell or just pairs off, which is usually something we like. Let's get to, we have a super chat, and I think from a viewer, I don't think I've seen a super chat from this viewer before. No, actually, that's not true. Ditka Mustache, No, I do remember seeing you before. That's a pretty distinctive name.
You can never forget that.
Yeah, that's, I mean, Ditka legend. Always enjoy the show. What are your thoughts on Sunrun? I'll always admit I cannot remember the last time this stock got pulled up. Probably.
No, I think Brian was talking about it actually.
I can't remember the last time I looked at this thing, to be real with you. So the problem, of course, is it's like a half broken stock. And I'll say half because when you go back far enough, like if I pull up a weekly chart of Sunrun, fighting a sneeze, hopefully I won't. If I pull up like a weekly chart, or maybe I have to go to a monthly, I just want to see a little bit, give you a better look on the outside. Like when I say half broken, it's never bad when you've made a very distinctive bottom. You go back and like sort of like COVID lows here, it was like $10. It's already shown you a bounce off that level. So the fact that it's still like holding some higher lows above the 10 and it's shown an area where you can buy, that's not terrible in the really long run, but death under the 50, under the 200, and a death cross, all while the market has been super strong. So it doesn't look incredibly good. It's got this little bear flaggy thing going on here. So if it can, like technically you got to break this out or something because it's not participating today. So even on a day where market is strong, it's relatively weak. Like a lot about this looks terrible. And if it breaks down, at least you've got support on that monthly chart that I was showing you. Like terrible.
This looks hella terrible.
Terrible. Like this reminds me of, like I'll hate, like I'm hating on Webull these days. You know, like that's a name, you know, from monthly chart's going to be useless for Webull.
Webull for.
Yeah, there you go. No, like there's just some things that don't look good. And the difference is, at least you have a firm bottom there. But like things like Webull are so bad that they're at least curling and giving you breaks of like the 50 period or something. Whereas Sunrun, no, that's under those moving averages. It's kind of like a recent breakdown that it's doing. Not a huge fan of that. It's just an ugly looking chart. But there's plenty of ugly looking charts out there. Hate to tell you, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not even a big fan of the space.
I was, I mean, we always look at Sunrun. You can look at TAN, the TAN ETF. I feel like there isn't a horrible one, and there's for solar, you taking the lead.
It's usually
there, but there's a TAN ETF kind of not doing too much. And you're waiting for the government to maybe step in and try to maybe fund some of the solar projects that are out there. It's still pretty expensive.
You might have to wait for another government.
Yeah, maybe. Although President Trump has said that he is a fan of solar, whether or not the actions.
But look at Enphase. Like even Enphase is down a boat.
I know. Yeah, they're all not doing.
And they haven't shown any signs of
not doing too well. Congratulations to the Maple Leafs. They put on a good show at home yesterday. 6-5 losers though. Wow.
So we finished what, one?
We only have one more game, and we're going to be in 5th place. So there's like a 45% chance or whatever that we can keep our 5th pick. So hopefully we can do that, or it goes over to the Boston.
Yeah, at least it's not that stupid tank fit. I don't know if you saw. There was one particular NBA game which epitomized the utter nonsense of Tank Fest. I think it was. The Jazz versus I don't even remember who it was, but one of the teams dressed 4 dudes on 10-day contracts, and the 5th guy was a two-way player from the developmental league. There were 3, and they only played 6 guys the whole game. So no regulars played, just 6 bums.
And there's not like one stutter.
2 dudes played like 48 minutes a game. 3 guys had triple. It was a complete joke. It was a 40-point blowout, and both teams were tanking, and it was still a 40-point.
I mean, the league has tried to figure that out. I don't really know.
They got to do something. I can't deal with the NBA.
Poopy pants? What were you about to say?
I thought it was Sir Poopy Pants.
I thought it was too.
Just a quick. Are you the same person
we only have
that's
8
Sir
minutes.
Poopy Pants? If it's not, then welcome to a new viewer. Thank you for the super chat. UWMC or Nike for the long term. Am I allowed to say neither?
Which one? UWMC, Nike. I would choose. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, look, if you give me 2 names and one of which I've done nothing on, I haven't really looked at them, then like by default, if I have no choice but to pick, I'd be picking Nike. But I don't feel like the time is right on Nike yet, which is why I say the neither, because I'm not going to say that I like a name that I don't. I just feel like Nike's not cheap enough yet. I think Nike eventually gets cheap enough. But it's still in the downward press. I'd like to think that you can get it even, my goodness. I think it's 2017 or something, the lows that it's on. Check that. It's the 2017 lows that it broke. It's at 2000, 2014 levels, and there's nothing significant till it gets to like $40 on the monthly, on this like 3-month chart. So you're very much in a downward press. There's nothing really technically that looks good. And until, if they were a value relative to peers, I could make that kind of an argument. But you do not need to get lows. You don't need to have it. Intel was considered a piece of absolute junk by a lot of people. But look what happened when it made, so same chart, 3-month chart, support, and then look at the 200 period on that 3-month chart. And then look at how long it was down at that bottom. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 periods. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a 3-month chart. And look at how many candles you could have had the bottom on Intel. You don't need to always sit there catching a falling knife on a stock, especially when they have a good core business. Eventually you'll find accumulation usually. And even if you got that late, you're absolutely laughing. So Nike, like at some point I'd probably try it. I had a swing trade in Lululemon a couple of years ago that was okay. And then tried that a second time for a small win. And Nike, I'll wait for my chance. Because it's exactly the kind of name that I like for like quick little swing trades. Like a beaten up name that I think has just gotten beaten up too far. Eventually they usually do bounce somewhere, find a good technical bounce. It's just nowhere close to it for me yet. I think PayPal is the one that's on my radar right now. If I'm looking at something that's on my personal radar for a swing, PayPal is, it almost actually confirmed the breakout today, but it failed at 48.5. Unfortunately, it's going to close at 48 bucks. There's the failed. Oh, it didn't even break it. That's pre-market. So it didn't even get to the breakout level yet on PayPal. But that's the one I got the eyeballs on.
Yeah, I like the PayPal look as well. So we made a similar call on a beat-up name that was not working out very well, and that was Target. And yeah, it's done really well. We actually got our target up here around 120. So, nice little level that just came in on TGT. So you want to talk about, a beat up name, and we just kind of watched it right through here, these levels, and this is where we were able to pick it up. So we tweeted it out. You can go find it. It's actually time-stamped and everything. When we actually bought that name, and there it goes straight up to the upside. So like Target also, the good thing about Target is you get a dividend as well. So about 3, I could check the yield, but about 3% on Target. It was higher down there, but there it goes to the upside. So just another example of, if you can wrap your head around potentially why we saw really, strong movements. And Walmart and Target are, not the same, but, Walmart was really getting elevated. We saw them get the addition into the NASDAQ, and they switched over from New York into NASDAQ, and just a really nice move higher there for Wally's World. And then we just was like, okay, if the consumer is good, man, maybe some Target love there. And then they had some management reshuffles. And then the dude from Nike came back. I forget his name, but he was a guy, it's like a very generic name. What's the new CEO's name of Nike, Adara?
Elliot Hill.
Elliot Hill. Hill? Is that what it is?
Elliot Hill.
There it is. Perfect. Good memory, Neil. Yeah, I remember it was like some sort of a kind of a generic name there. Elliot Hill. So he came back, and we could see maybe.
E.T. Elliot.
Yeah, Adara had that one graphic where it was like all of the newer CEOs that have come in, and and he was doing like the worst. out of all of them.
Well,
and it was, we looked at Starbucks, of course.
Brian Nickel.
Yeah, with new CEO there. But we're going to go to Adara for something else. Is that true? We're going to now, Adara? Okay, let's go over to Adara.
I'm going to see if I can find this visual, the most updated version, while I talk to you guys, because I'm actually really curious. But yeah, he's not doing too well. There's another visual that was just one-day performances of stocks when the new CEOs were announced. Obviously, that's a little bit less, I think, indicative of overall performance, because it's like one day when it was announced. But either way, if I find that graphic, I'll drop it in the chat for you guys. It's been a while since I've updated it. Either way, I think Brian Nickel probably one of the better performing ones. Same with Kelly Ortberg. Let's talk about KD. This company is called Kyndryl Holdings. Right now, a little bit of a pop to the upside after the CEO of the company reportedly said that they are, quote, in contact and working with Anthropic. So CEO of Kyndryl claiming a connection to Anthropic, KD pushing to the upside into the close. And if you want any infographics, or to just scroll through the many, many infographics that I have posted, X at TTV Research.
All right, thanks, Adara. Yeah, Kelly Ortberg, of course, Boeing. That was a good turnaround there for Boeing. But Boeing's been big. Like, Boeing's been had its ups and downs. Like, it goes through cycles, right? I mean, they were almost, if you go back to like some of those COVID numbers, how low Boeing had gotten to, I think it was like almost sub $100 or something like that.
Historically speaking, when the U.S. market's like doing this, Boeing is usually better than Airbus. It's the exact environment that you prefer, Boeing to Airbus. So I think that should hopefully maybe change a little bit. It's only 3 minutes till the imbalances. IONQ actually grew, so that would be the opposite of it pairing off. So it went from 1.1 to 1.5 million. It's still not. It's close. It's almost at the actual high, so it'll get to the high well before 355 in any kind of a pairing event. But this is the only thing on the early look that's actually on the radar for me. We do have another super chat in here.
Yeah, no comments, nothing. I said, thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, it's just, okay, I got to show it this way, because I don't think we can do that if you don't put a message in there. Thank you for the super chat there, Patrick. You can always throw a message in. It could be a ticker. It could just be a, hey, what up? It doesn't really matter. That'd be nice. And then, of course, I see Lindmeyer in there. Speaking of dividends, Kimberly Clark could be a nice buy down here. Kimberly Clark.
I forgot to attach it.
Oh, there we go. Why do you? Oh, that's always a good question. It's always a fair question. I know we get it a lot, but it's still a fair question.
Yeah, it's so I really started doing it because, and it's not really a PDT rule type of thing, but it was just the Qs were expensive. So I was thinking, like, when we were looking at the Qs, and I'd sort of been doing TQs now for a couple of years, it was just always like under $100, and obviously again, almost literally the exact same patterns. So they all hold, and I think you can use any of them, to get a favorable position. But no, it was more about the cost of it, to be honest with you, like just how expensive it had gotten there, and to put on 1,000 shares or something is just, it potentially is a lot, and I was just felt like I could ramp up more on the TQs, just using more shares and just being more comfortable, holding something again for dimes rather than dollars. Like that was really what it was for me. And then we don't have to worry about SQQ versus TQQ. Plus, we also don't have any borrow costs for both of these. So you can sort of go either way. Take the short here with SQQ or the long with TQQ. And then actually, I actually kind of like the fact that it's triple levered. So you'll get a little bit more of a move. But again, like that, the same move has happened here today. It's just a matter of being able to, for me, trade something a little less on the value side of it, so I could put a couple more shares in than I would on the Qs. But it is a good question, and I could go back. The reason we don't trade the futures looks a lot different on our platform, right? And so there's reasons.
There's a better reason why, and for anyone out there real trading, this is low hanging fruit if you happen to be here. Every single asset class you trade is a separate risk. So if you start, I'll finish that with the imbalance that just came out. I can finish that in a second. We got CNH, who cares? Rivian, 2 million shares to the sell side. Rigetti, 1.2 million shares to the buy side. IONQ, 1.1 million buy. Intel was just there at 1 million. There it is, still 1 million shares to the buy side. Where's like Nvidia or any of the big names? AAPL is a buy of 850,000. Yeah, really there's Amazon sells 660,000. Nothing too crazy. I would have expected, I really thought we'd see NVIDIA. On the day that NVIDIA broke 195, it's not even up here. That's kind of disappointing. No, but just to finish the thought when it comes to if you're at real trading, every asset class you trade is a separate risk. So if you start out as an equity trader trading the NASDAQ, New York, and you build up your buying power and your risk in that, to trade the futures, you then have to build it right back up again to trade on the CME. And that'd be the same thing for, like if you want, it could be anything on that. It could be the NYMEX as well. It'd be the same thing on Forex. It'd be the same thing on crypto. So that's why you would see an equity trader trade SPY, like real trading. You will see them trade Qs and SPY. You will see them trade IBIT instead of trading Bitcoin, because that's the account that you build up. So it's just it's a practical thing more than anything else. Disappointing not to have seen NVIDIA on that list. So strong. Usually NVIDIA has like 2-3 million shares. Today it doesn't have an imbalance. Adara?
Just be very careful here, guys, because this is incredibly speculative, but SNAP did just push to high of day, so I want to discuss this story. I'm seeing some speculation, I guess going back to earlier this week, but now being circulated a lot more now, that tomorrow Snapshot could be announcing a layoff of 50% of its workforce. Again, incredibly speculative, in no way confirmed, but I am seeing, again, this headline circulate that tomorrow we could get a 50% layoff announcement from SNAP. If I get any more details, I will let you know, but seems like as of right now, an unconfirmed rumor. Just be aware of this one tomorrow. Back to you.
That'll
There's
do
a
it.
Thanos joke in there.
That'll do it for Snapchat. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
maybe that's why it's there. Who knows? Like you snap your fingers, get rid of half.
Maybe just next time, just do 49 or 51. Like, don't make it half. It's a little too on the nose there, Snapchat. What are we doing here? It's cold.
Here's also what it. Neil's reason is 100% right. For me, no, but it's just the fact that like right now, you see how different this is. Every single tick here is a quarter of a point. It's different risk as well, to Neil's point. So it's like, you know, I put on a short here on the futures, and it's just a completely different way of looking at the level 2 as opposed to what this looks like as a stock. So yeah, just to each their own. We used to have Arun on the show before. I don't think he's trading anymore, but you know, that's something else where he used to trade futures on the show, and that's basically, you know, what I do. Joe and I will be the ones that will generally trade on the TQs or SPY. And it's funny because I only really look at the NASDAQ. I don't even look at the SPY. So most of the names that you'll see that I'm covering on every day tends to be NASDAQ names. And just before, as you guys are wondering, I have this stop at the 200 period here on the TQQs, and that's will be. Again, this will be my largest P&L name on the day. If it breaks that, we'll stop out. And then Apple's just kind of had like, I don't know, an up and down move. And of course, we just talked about that with the imbalance locator right here. And you know, whether or not Apple was on here or not, I didn't see it. Here's Amazon coming out with a sell, so you can see like that effect that's had there. So at 350, you do get a downside push there, obviously in Apple. So something to think about with that name coming in, or sorry, on Amazon, that comes in. I really like Amazon. I think even this move down, like if we had a little more time, this is like tomorrow's trade. I really think that's important. Pakistani media citing Iranian officials. We are ready. Okay, yeah. I mean, look, Pakistan, to their credit, I mean, they're the ones that sort of brought everybody to the table. So it would be kind of cool now that it's Iranian officials are ready. So that's good. So hopefully but what are they going to discuss? I mean, it's either, look, it's nuclear or it's not. Like, I don't know the story. That's what President Trump keeps hanging his hat on. Now, whether or not that gets going, I don't know.
Like, it's and nuclear ambitions and the straight not controlled. It's that, like, though, like, to me, it always seems like those are the things that would be the hard lines. And one of those is an absolute, the market, it has to happen. Like, no matter how this goes, the straight has to open up because the long-term effects on the price of oil. Like, even like we're sitting here and we're happy where oil is pulled back to. No, like it would still be expensive above 80. Grunfeld, thank you very much. Can we look at UNH? Buffett and I are patiently waiting. Is Buffett waiting anymore? I don't think he is. Buffett doesn't care anymore. He's retired.
Waiting for UNH?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Berkshire. It's Mark Abel's show now anyway, so I have no. Who knows? Like, maybe this is something that Mark Abel doesn't even care about. No, UNH.
Do we even know what they've been buying lately? What was their most recent buy? Didn't they buy their own stock?
Yeah, there wasn't anything like super exciting that's bouncing out to me off the top of my head from their last filing. So that's saying something. Like, I think we usually also get the more recent 13Fs about halfway through the quarter. So we'll probably get around mid-May the filings for Q1. So we don't really know what they did the most recent quarter, but we did know from that interview that Buffett is still hanging out at the office. He's going into the office every single day. He's very much involved, if not actually involved. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see that filing.
You know what? I should be paying attention because I think the last time, because I had a swing in this that failed the 200-period moving average. It was the regain. I don't know. This is like a lot of swings I'll take look like this, where it's like bad stock, regains 50-period moving average, consolidates, you take the long, gets to 200 period, and then fail. It would have been nice if it could fall through. It didn't. And now it's actually closing above the 200 period. So it looks like it's trying to hold over the 200 period again. Maybe it's woken up here, and it's right at that same 300 level that I like. So the 300 level coinciding with a 200 period hold. Maybe there's something there for UNH. I don't know. I'm not that excited about it. As I said, the only thing I'm looking at right now is actually that PayPal. See if we can get through that $50. Could actually happen tomorrow. With only about 3 minutes to go, for what it's worth, UNH just kind of lost like $1 here at the end of the day. It might end up closing red the way it's going. IONQ ended up pairing. QBTS stayed about 900,000 to the buy side, so nothing too crazy on the imbalance locator there. We do have another day. Oh, there it is. Almost 10% now on Micron. 9 points up on MU. Not quite to all-time highs, but the triple top triple top on Micron. Oh, you better not fail that 470 Micron. You get put to the test. And there've been a lot of questions about SanDisk. What do you think about SanDisk going into the NASDAQ? And my answer was, you know what? This one I don't care about going into the NASDAQ. Look what this stock has already done. Like, this is insane on the daily chart. Yeah, they report in 2 weeks. That's what's going to end up mattering. The expectations are insane for this company going into this earnings print. The NASDAQ 100, well, anybody that was buying it for that, I've got to assume that that's priced in, and the only thing that's going to matter now is put up or shut up with your numbers. Because this is one where they cannot miss anywhere. It better be perfect for SanDisk. Otherwise, you'll see what happened to Micron last time could happen. And Micron got back to the highs, don't get me wrong, but Micron, before it did that, pulled back like 30% off the top. And SanDisk, if they miss, could do the same thing. But still 2 weeks away, plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, they could miss, pull back, and then just get bought up the rest of the day.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Micron did, but it was still 25, 30% from the high.
All right, we are all out. So there it is, man. With only 2 minutes to go, we take out at the highs of the day. So we've got that trade on right there from the lows of the Qs right there. Small piece left, like I said. I mean, didn't have a lot there. And then Apple, I just said, you know what, if I'm going to cover the Qs now, I'll just cover Apple. So we cover Apple as well. You know, could have made a move down there. We basically had 2% of both of those trades left on board, so not much going on right there. So, all right, there it goes, man. 133.50. Marvell ends the day up 1.8%. Pretty good day there for Marvell. Checking in on what we haven't even looked at Tesla all afternoon. That's a surprise. Normally we're on top of this one. Okay, so there's Tesla right now, 360.
It hasn't really been that great.
No, yeah, it hasn't been super exciting. I mean, it was up 3%. A lot of that movement happened obviously in the middle of the day there, as a lot of the NASDAQ peaked there. But as you can see, the NASDAQ is going to go out at the highs right now, and Tesla well off, as you mentioned there, those highs. So maybe something to look at over on that side for Tesla tomorrow. Maybe weakness, but I don't know. I still really like that stock. We have less than a minute now, only 30 seconds to be exact. Tesla moving, and then NVIDIA really did a lot of the heavy lifting, I feel like, just in a general sense, because we finally do break over that 193, 194, 195 area. And yeah, it's smooth sailing now, right back up to all-time highs for NVIDIA. I think that's just moments.
Catch AMD.
Yeah, moments away. I mean, you could even get to all-time highs tomorrow on NVIDIA. We come in and we're at 205. That's only up 2%.
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
And now the bell.
All done. Trump apparently going to be on Fox News. I just heard in my ear. So now
recorded interview. It starts right now.
Perfect. So it starts right now. So go over there, check out what's going on there on Fox News. Now that we're gone, earnings start with big tech. I guess they've already started, but Netflix on Thursday. And then all the banks keep rolling through the next.
Intel
couple days.
next week.
ASML
tonight, sometime when we're all asleep. ASML is going to report, and it's going to matter a lot. For sure. No, but a great show today. And big shout out to Brian coming on through. It's always fun to have Brian as a guest. And, you know, we look forward to him every single Tuesday. Shout out to Sharif, Joe, Adara, Sia. What do you got, Joe?
Whoa, we got to rate that lunch, man.
Oh, we didn't do that. Oh, yeah, we didn't do it. We forgot about rate the lunch.
Let's run through it quick. I'm going last. So between you, Neil, Sean,
I already heard Neil.
I already did mine, but
What'd you do? What'd you give it?
I gave it a 7.7. The rice and peas were okay. There was actually a decent, like, for what they usually do with the jerk, there was a little bit more kick than they usually do.
Yeah,
it's still, I think I called it like a 3 to Adara, I think, out of 10 in terms of like spice. But
okay.
But they're usually like a 1 or.
Like you didn't need a water.
No, you didn't need anything. I mean, so I was pretty happy with it, Joe.
Yeah. How about you, Sean?
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of just the drumstick, but you know, I did like it. It's okay, it was cooked pretty good. Yeah, I'm a 7-something. I agree. The rice was well cooked. I thought there could have been a little bit more bean in there. The coleslaw was actually really tasty.
Very.
All right, forget this, man. I'm going to 7.9. I'm going.
Whoa!
Oh no, because of the sides.
Whoa!
It was because of the sides. The rice and peas.
That's up there.
That's
respectable. That's
never said higher than
that's very respectable. I'm curious. Adara didn't eat the chicken.
I did eat the chicken.
Okay. Talk to me.
Yeah, I don't know why we're rating lunch. Honestly, it's hours after lunch. What I'll say is I found the chicken to be very spicy, and yet I pushed through. Proud of myself. I still have one drumstick left. So go me. I'm just proud I ate the chicken. My rating is I ate the chicken.
Okay, so she ate the chicken. So we'll give it a 5.
It's better than the alternative.
All right, well, you don't have to rate the lunch. I'm going to rate the lunch. And this is going to be one of Joey's highest scores. Jamming with Joe gives the jerk chicken a 7.6, with the whole plate being a total of a 7.7.
6-7. 7-7.
I thought we were leaving on that. Yeah, okay.
Hey,
so,
that would be a good exit there.
No, I don't. Yeah, it would have been okay exit. I think we would have.
Let's go.
Okay, so there we go. So we got. So I'm the highest 7. So we got 2 7.7s and.
I was very surprised. You know what? This morning I wasn't looking forward to it because of what they've done in the past, but they stepped their game up. This was a good one here.
It really did.
Yeah, so I think we all got.
I'm not used to not being. I'm usually the high man.
You're usually the high mark. You're usually the high
I think it was the best jerk chicken, like definitely in a while, I would say. I mean, it was very, very tasty. But regardless of what you had for lunch or we had for lunch, make sure you do join us for breakfast tomorrow.
And you rate your lunch.
Everyone can rate their own lunch. You can put it in the chat, whatever you thought your own lunch was. Maybe you made.
What did you say?
We're gonna get breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's my call.
You don't like the breakfast sandwiches? Whoa.
You don't like the? Who said they don't like the breakfast sandwiches?
I thought you said that, Joe.
Me? No, I never said that.
Okay.
All right, hey.
All right, we're losing our way now. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Be well tonight.
They're delicious, the breakfast sandwiches. You said it was disgusting. You just said.
No, till